Welcome to the Brewtiful Game. As always, I am Blake here with Ferris.
Hola.
And Ron.
What's happening?
Here to finish our second part of our MLS preview. We're going to look at the West. We're going to talk about some highlights from Premier League, as well as probably mention some decent highlights from the Champions League that just occurred.
Champions.
I can't hear a commercial where they play that without hearing you sing it. Every time. Every time.
All I'm going to say is just tap the badge here, fellas. Tap the badge. Glory, glory, Man United.
It's ridiculous.
What a game.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow, what are we?
Less than a minute.
Less than a minute.
New pod record. Oh, if you didn't see Champions League, United, 10 injuries.
We're not even getting to the beer first. This is what we're doing, right?
Damn right. 10 injuries, playing 18-year-olds from the academy. Somebody has to go back to school tomorrow.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Right? Was it you
headline,
that showed me that article?
Yeah, the headline is like, whatever player it was is expected to be back at school. No, on Friday.
On Friday, sorry. My apologies. You can take tomorrow off.
Mom, can you pick me up after the game? Got to finish studying.
Yeah, but but Mom, pick me up at Old Trafford.
Yeah, jeez.
Right. Or in Paris, because that's where they played the game today.
In Paris.
that's true.
So that's why he's got to go back Friday.
Right. But, and yes, PSG didn't have Neymar or Cavani, but
They didn't last
they had
time
this
either,
guy named
right?
Mbappe. Last I checked, he won the World Cup. He's pretty good.
And they didn't have
they had
Neymar in the
Rabiot,
last
they
meeting.
had, correct.
So
This time we had no Pogba, we had no Martial, no Sanchez,
Mata,
no Mata, no Herrera, no Matic, no Valencia. I mean, the list kind of just goes on.
You know what was super cool on social media? Seeing all of the videos of all the injured Man United players freaking out because
cheering
their
from
team
home
won.
or cheering from the stadium.
That is so great.
What a wild game. So if you didn't know or you didn't follow the Champions League, well, one, where have you been? And two, why not? Because it's just only the biggest club tournament in the world. But United were going into the second leg 2-0 down. That's 2 away goals that PSG scored in Old Trafford a few weeks back, which means they had to basically blank PSG at home or score an extra goal on top of that. Game started off, Lukaku, 3 minutes in, 1-0. So now all we got to do is hold them to no goals and just score one more, and we can push it to extra time. A couple minutes later in the 16th, PSG scores 1-1. So now we have to go score 2 goals to that 1 goal because it's a 3-1 on aggregate at that time. We scored just before half, or a little bit before half, actually. Lukaku, 2-1. They're still ahead 3-2, but if we get one more goal, yes, it'll be tied 3-3, but we would go through on away goals. 90th minute, there is a play that occurs. It is not called on the field, and they continue playing. However, it goes to VAR.
I'll be so excited about VAR in the Premier League soon.
Next year.
Next year.
Yeah.
A handball in the box was not called on the field, but was overturned. I've seen a lot more blatant handballs than this. And I would say this is quite friendly to us. And it wasn't played at Old Trafford. This was played in Paris. But the game that we'll talk about here in a bit, our Orlando City had a handball in that went to VAR. And they said no. And you're like, how the hell? Like, that was looked obvious.
That was pretty blatant. That was
blatant, right?
That was Thierry Henry getting into the World Cup.
He moved his arm to make his body bigger, and yes, that should have been.
This wasn't that way. And
if it had not gone that way, you would have been annoyed as a fan, but it would not have argued.
No, correct. I wouldn't have argued because I actually had the game on my screen. And I saw that play, thought it was just the ball went out of bounds because it was a block, went to go meet with somebody real quick, come back, and I see we're up 3-1. And I was like, what the hell happened? And I had to rewind it to figure out that it was VAR, and Rashford stepped up, 21 years old. Just cool as you like.
He's the 17-year-old's tutor, by the way.
Yes, right.
Yeah, right.
3, and they hold on. They would go like 8 extra, on top of that. They hold on 3-3, 3 away goals, and United, depleted squad. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who scored that famous goal in the 1999 Champions League in the very last gasp to make it 2-1 against Bayern Munich to win the entire thing. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer leads them to this with a depleted squad and Romelu Lukaku, who was out of favor, who's now had 5 goals or 6 goals in his last 3 games, and Rashford and McTominay playing in midfield along with Pereira, like just
so
crazy. And then on top of that, what happened yesterday?
Oh,
your favorite dish soap,
Ajax.
Yes. Cleaned and wiped the floor with Real Madrid in the Bernabeu.
The champions from last year.
Incredible.
Correct. And back-to-back champions, might add.
Destroyed them.
4-1. Dusan Tadic, who formerly played of Southampton last year, if you guys remember, had himself the game of his life in this.
Yes.
He was incredible in this game.
Pardon me, y'all. I'm dealing. Ferris was croaking the last one. It's me.
Sorry,
this
man.
One. It's all right.
But just some wild times in the Champions League. Real Madrid knocked out. PSG knocked out.
We were going to get to this beer pick from Ron.
Roma knocked out too, I think.
I don't mean to derail more.
Sorry.
But actually, I don't think this is a derail. I think this is an end of discussion. Mauricio Pochettino is not going to be your coach. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is. I even worked on saying the name just so I could say it.
I was going to say that.
And end the conversation, because let me tell you what.
Okay.
With the Spurs fighting to maybe even stay in the top 4 for their stretch now, if they gave that to Poch, first off, if Spurs get knocked out of the top 4, he ain't getting it. Period. For sure. But at this point, I feel like this is almost like if Ole imagine they lost this game because you kind of thought they were not going to advance, but he wins the FA Cup. You think, man, they might keep him. To me, this is huge.
Yeah.
Like, this is so big. To me, this depleted, what you pulled off, to keep this man as your manager. I mean, I don't want you to, because I'd like you to not be competing in the top 4 next year.
Right.
But I think it is insanity if they don't, at this point, keep him. That should, conversation done.
You're not going to get an argument out of me on that. What I will say, though,
done now,
and the
right?
argument that I said, and I had Phil, where we were texting back and forth. He's like, if he's not hired tomorrow, well, what the hell are they doing?
No, they're not going to do it. No, wait till the end of the year, because you still got
that was my only point.
Why would you do that?
Stick to the plan.
Right.
Stick to the
you know
plan.
What you can do?
Because he's not going anywhere. So it's not like you're going to risk of losing him to another team.
And look at this
as
way.
long as he knows that he's going to get the job in the summer, just wait and then just sign him in the summer. Yeah. And boom, you carry on.
Besides,
but stick to the plan.
You don't need any PR right now. You're already getting the PR.
Correct.
Imagine the PR if you make it to a Champions League final or even like semifinal, or do you know what I'm saying?
Why come out now and just change?
But you if you get that far and then the season ends and then you announce that, oh my, I mean, it's just celebrations all over Manchester.
Right.
Like, I mean, you're going to have frustratingly enough, you're going to have a good end to this season. I think Pochettino is not.
Right, and I agree. I think he should be the manager at this point. I think it also needs to come with his assistant coaches. Phelan needs to stay.
Sure.
Kieran,
and don't forget,
whatever his name needs to stay. Carrick needs to stay. All those that are part of his team are just as big with Solskjaer. Who was beside Sir Alex Ferguson for so many number of years? Phelan.
Yeah.
Who's besides Solskjaer right now? Also, Phelan.
Sir Alex Ferguson is in constant contact with Ole. I mean,
yeah. Because it's
done.
You have somebody in the family that knows that was called the babyface assassin, that embodied that club, that worked hard, that came off the bench time after time and scored big goals. And he did it to prove Sir Alex wrong. And he had respect for Sir Alex, had respect for the club, went in there and played as hard as he possibly could. And he loves this club. He has such a passion for this club.
And look, here's the thing. And he may not. He might, if he was available, if he became available, and Chelsea was like, "Oh, we're going to go after him." I don't know if he's going to work there like that.
He would.
It might be.
He would not.
Right
he would
man,
not.
Right spot, right team, but for whatever reason, he has got this, and I think it would be pandemonium, even if you do okay the rest of this run, but end in like 4th for the Premier League, and this is it for the Champions League. It's as far as you go. I still think fans would revolt if he did not get the job after this.
Yeah.
Yes. And if you guys get a chance, did you guys watch?
I have not seen the download yet with Raj Bennett.
Watch it. It is fantastic. And if that does not make you want him to be the United manager, then he talks with such passion. He talks about his time at Cardiff, the only other club that he went to in England, and he went there as a manager. And he said it was the wrong time. I was not in the position to go there. I didn't even I really took that job to think that if I did well on that job, that I someday would get the United job. So he loves the club with so much, and he embodies it. And he also talks about in that he has come in and said, you guys are World Cup winners. You guys are Premier League goal scoring champs. You're this, you're that. You've won this, you've won that. Go out, express that. Express your talent. Go out there, have fun, and play. We have the best goalkeeper in the world. We have the midfielder on the French World Cup team. Go out and express that. Have fun. And he's allowed them to do that because he understands that's part of how and why the United teams of the past, under Sir Alex, were allowed to do that. There were other things there. Sir Alex was the top people, player, manager. He was a psychologist. He tuned into everybody. He treated Ronaldo differently than he treated Keane and how he treated whatever, but he got them all to gel and play for that badge and play for each other. Solskjaer has learned under Sir Alex. So if he can start to apply some of these things, and by all accounts, that's what he's doing. Yes, he's going to make mistakes, right? He brought in Lingard, who probably shouldn't have been on the bench, but he's going to learn from that.
I think he made
right?
up for that.
Right. Yeah. But again, he's going to learn from that because he's still youngish in his managerial career at this level.
Let's be honest. 12 weeks ago, when did Jose get canned?
Oh my God! It's a complete turnaround.
Did a run in the Champions League? Like, none of this even seemed realistic.
No,
even after getting beat by PSG.
Right. Well, if you think about
his first loss,
when did Mourinho get sacked? As soon as the draw came out and it was announced that PSG would be playing Manchester United, he got sacked that next day.
Oh, I didn't remember that's how it went down.
Now look.
And they lost their first one.
That proved to be a very good move.
We talked about this actually, though. They lost that first one, and I said, but I loved his press conference
absolutely.
Because I still felt like,
correct, yeah,
I know like they lost, but he actually somehow has me more hopeful for the team the way he talked about the loss.
Right, and we talked about it on the pod. I said, hold on, it's not. Hey, he needs to go. He needs to pump the brakes here. The team is still not where it needs to be, but he's doing a phenomenal job. Even if we're losing to PSG. It's not like we're losing to
guys. PSG, I really thought was going to win the Champions League. I thought they were.
And yes, they. In fairness, they had their injuries as well, right?
Yeah, but so did Man United. I mean,
yes, they did. Right. So, but regardless, it's a big win. Ajax to beat Real Madrid, who is a dumpster fire right now, 4-1, is just a big of win. Going in and kind of overcoming their deficit from the first leg. Just two phenomenal wins. And you say, what does next week bring? Because we have big games next week as well. We have Atletico Madrid up on Juventus 2-0. I think it goes back to Turin.
Bayern and Liverpool.
And Bayern Liverpool 0-0. And I think that goes...
That's going to be a great match.
I can't remember if that's played in Germany next week or not.
That is.
Or is that played in Liverpool? I don't remember. But either way.
It's at Liverpool. That's what's dangerous about it for Liverpool.
Yes, because if Bayern score, they have that away goal. So it's going to be just as much fun next week as well. And we should have a hell of a last 8.
I'm dying over here, though. We got to get to the beer. I'm so thirsty.
Sorry.
I mean, even though I want to segue straight into more soccer, but we need beer.
I agree.
Beers.
Take it away, Ron.
It's our earliest curse at 50 seconds. Our longest get to the beer at 14 minutes. There we go.
14 minutes. Wow, that's
all because of Manchester United.
It was worth it.
Yep.
All right, so this is listener sent beer.
Ooh, yeah, love those.
Yep, we get a few of those, which keep sending them. It's always fun. This one is from Regency Park, South Australia.
Ooh, Aussie.
I was born, heave away.
Little Australia shanty song.
Just in case you need a little Australian shanty.
Love a good shanty. It's a great wine.
All right. This one is from a brewery called Coopers Brewery, which we've seen a smattering here of in the States. This one is the Coopers Original Australian Pale Ale. Dun, dun, dun. So this brewery dates back to 1862. And the first beer that Thomas Cooper made was from an old family recipe, but it wasn't for beer. It was actually a tonic for his sick family members.
Make you feel better.
Hey, yeah, drink enough, you feel great. So he started handing this out as a tonic for people who had various ailments. and he basically hooked everybody on his beer. And since 1862, they've been producing all these
You
different.
tell me Thomas Cooper is a snake oil salesman that just happened to actually make good beer out of his snake oil.
Well, I mean,
Sounds legit
to
to me.
I don't know that he was as much a snake oil salesman. It doesn't come across that way in all the research that I've done, but I see where that could be. I definitely see where that could be. So the one we're going to have is the original Australian Pale Ale, naturally conditioned in the bottle. The Coopers Brewing method produces a trademark sediment that gives their ales a distinctive, fine, cloudy appearance, so they don't filter it very much at all. This beer is a deep golden color, pours with a generous level of foam, and to unlock its full flavor, make sure to roll before pouring. That was interesting.
Let's actually get the yeast in it.
Instead of pouring a bunch out like a Belgian, you pour a bunch out, then you swirl, then you pour again. This one is you just actually roll the bottle.
Huh.
All right.
No additives, no preservatives. Another cool thing that they got.
That's fair. You should get your phone out to get. I want a video of Ron rolling
The beer.
Yeah.
Another interesting thing is on their website, they give the total carbs, the protein, and this is a new one. I haven't ever seen this on a brewery website. They give the amount of energy in kilojoules.
Oh, why not?
Yeah, I feel like I've seen it not on beer necessarily, but I've seen it on other.
Yeah, on other food you see it.
Yeah.
But I've never seen that on beer.
That's what I would call my beer, kilojoules.
Yeah, there you go. This is 4.5% alcohol by volume.
2.1 kilojoules.
What's a kilojoule? 24 IBU, and the color is an 8 on the beer color scale.
Roll that beer. Roll that beer. Roll that beer. Yeah. Thomas Cooper, friends with Jackie Pendergrass.
Right?
Roll that beer, Ron. That's a good roll. Not like a kangaroo. You don't want to get it bouncy. It's nice and smooth. Nice and smooth.
All right, let's crack this bad boy open.
Okay, we have to make a gif out of Ron doing that. All right, man. I'm excited. Watch out. She's coming.
Yep. That's
that's she said.
Let's move on.
Sorry.
Stepped right into that one.
Right into it. What I meant by that is the intense carbonation. I'll stop.
That's what they're
now.
calling
It was
nowadays.
coming out of the
Like kilojoule out of the bottle?
What I was going to say is she's going to blow, but that's no better either.
No, it's not. All right, Robert. What, huh?
Get that out of the.
Too soon,
man. No,
No, we were doing it on last pod.
no, it's true. This beer looks fantastic. It actually looks like a Belgian wit because it is so cloudy. Got that gold with the yeast and sediment in there.
There is a lot.
Yeah, I think if you were to just
it smells like because you smell the yeast like you'd normally on Belgian wit. This smells
Ooh, natty.
great, man. It's a pale ale. So
Australian
kilojoules
pale ale.
So does that
this.
mean is it like an American pale ale in the sense that American pale ale it uses American hops and or malt? So is this using Australian hops? And
Yep.
Okay.
Cool.
Man, yeah.
Excited about this.
We got on it. This is.
Oh, it smells so good.
Oh yeah. I'm excited.
All right, gentlemen.
Aussie.
Oi, 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 oi. Cheers.
Why don't you?
Skull it. Man, these down
tasty.
under beers we've been having are
That is
fantastic.
Wow.
This is
Ooh.
at once sounds so pretentious. I apologize. This is at once complex yet smooth and crisp and simple.
Oh, my
I
God,
don't know
yes.
how else to explain it. It's just I think it's a lot
It's
of
delightful.
the smell going on with the sediment that you're getting with the yeast and the esters, but it's a really crisp, smooth, but it's got more mouthfeel, more meat to it than like a pale ale would that didn't have the yeast sediment in there.
Right. Yeah, this is super tasty.
Man.
Very clean.
It also, this is going to sound weird, but it also tastes like a carbonated water. It has that kind of smooth, crisp. It's much more tasteful than that, but
It's got that bitter on the back of the tongue and not intense by any stretch. I mean,
No.
Literally, you kind of got to wait for it to hit you. It's not too hopped by actually as a pale ale. I think because of the yeast and stuff, I don't smell a ton of hops.
no, I
So
don't
I
either.
actually don't really taste. I don't get that until after you kind of finish the sip
Right.
and then you hit the bitter on the end.
Man. What a tasty beer.
And so you said these
Very
guys
tasty.
actually do distribute? We get some here in the States?
Yeah, you can occasionally.
Oh, I've seen this label before, the Coopers Brewery.
Yeah.
It's real simple. Look, it looks like something you'd see from like the 1860s, to be honest. Like I'm sure
Oh,
it's
yeah, that's cool.
very similar to
Yeah.
their
1862. Over 150 years of brewing.
Man,
What a cool little company.
thank you, listener beer. Boom. All right, so
Very cool.
we talked a little bit of the Champions League. We're going to talk a little bit about Premier League and then move on to our MLS preview. First up, the North London Derby.
Another fun game this was.
Or as I like to call it, refs love Harry Kane.
Hold on here. Hold on. So, okay. For the first goal for Tottenham, well, actually, the first goal for Arsenal was real nice, Clark.
Dude, the man can score at Wembley.
Ramsey, wow.
Yeah, man can
Just
score.
beautiful.
Really nicely done. Just
You would
around
never
Maurice.
know that he was going to be gone to Juventus in the
True,
in the
very
sense
true,
of the way
yeah.
that he scored the goal and celebrated like with the Arsenal fans
On like
and the team.
400
Do you know?
pounds a week in Juventus or whatever
Yeah,
the record number is.
Yeah.
I think obnoxious.
Oh, he's getting so much
But
money.
they tax you over there, don't they? So it
Yeah.
may not be. Anyways, okay, so Kane scored a penalty. And yes, it was a penalty.
Well, it's
Okay, but before
So-
it was called a penalty, which was a penalty, he was
so
offside.
let's do this in order. Yes,
go ahead.
So they're set up for the free kick, and Harry Kane is offsides.
Well, not only Harry Kane.
To start, yes.
Well, actually, the team is
5
offside.
members of the team are all offsides.
Which they've been trying all game, and they got called in it the first time, and then
Oh, because Harry
and
Kane
then
actually
after that goal, yeah.
put 2 in the net. His
Correct.
first one was offsides.
Correct.
Arsenal. We'll back up a little bit further. Sorry. No one liked this lineup when it got announced. They thought that Emery was insane. What are we doing here? Like, so Aubameyang's not going to start. Some of these choices, Mustafi, who we're going to get to, I don't think necessarily a bad choice in the sense of he had no other choice. Lichtsteiner and Bellerin hurt.
Socrates had a great game.
Socrates was amazing. Amazing. But it turned out when the game started going, we found out that Emery had a plan because he had a very specific substitutions as he went.
Did that plan really go that good in the end? No.
No. Wait.
No, I don't think it did.
Yes, it did. You
No, it
can't.
didn't.
You cannot account for the guy who has the second most goals in the Premier League botching. You can't. His plan worked.
In the mind game, he got benched in the biggest game where everybody's going, why didn't he start? So he's probably not happy he's coming off the bench to begin with. His mind's not in it. He did not look confident to stepping up to take that
he
PK.
He should not have started because he's got to start this Thursday.
But that's not what players think about. The managers maybe, but players don't think about that. Players want to play.
Jackhole over here.
Players want
players at that
Aubameyang
level
wants to play. He is wondering why he is sitting on the bench in the North London Derby. Of course he is.
They're not going to win the Premier League, and fighting for that 4th place spot is going to be hard. However,
he's fighting for the league race.
They could win. It would be a big deal. Win UEFA. So I get wanting to start Aubameyang this Thursday. Aubameyang knows.
The manager knows
you
that.
make it sound like you really think the manager's like, you're on the bench today, as opposed to, I'm going to have you come in the second half because I want you to start
Aubameyang
Thursday.
may know that, but doesn't mean he's happy with that, because he certainly did not look happy when he came in the second half, and he just certainly did not step up to that penalty spot with confidence. That was a very poor penalty by Aubameyang. Oh, and then his second sub, Torreira, who he didn't play, and he subbed in, he got sent off.
Yeah, shut your mouth and let's go back a second.
So I don't know if his plan actually worked out in the end.
You can't help it if the refs are against you.
No, hold on.
Wait.
His red card was just upheld today, and he's banned for 3 games.
Well, it's a shame they missed Danny Rose's red card that would have had him out of the game earlier.
Okay, fine.
That's what, but
you can't sit there and say the 2 people that you were wondering why they didn't start, Torreira and Aubameyang, you're like, oh, okay, that plan did work. If Aubameyang comes in and scores that pen and Torreira does not get sent off, I would agree. Yes, the plan worked.
But I would argue
I don't think
that was not a penalty in the first place.
What was a penalty?
That wasn't a penalty.
No, correct. That was not
a
a penalty.
penalty.
But
However,
Aubameyang needs to step up in the North London
what
Derby
they
and
also
bury
missed was Tottenham running 6 yards into the box and almost on level with Aubameyang by the time he takes his terrible penalty so that he can then get in front and block the rebound goal. It is a mess.
I feel like the ref tried to do a makeup call for the penalty and then missed another call afterwards. Right. Like
he was just missing a call, making up. What
was weird is he got good compliments to the game of actually, hey, I like the way that he's letting these guys play. But then
to a degree,
there were just stuff. Backing it up to the first, so Harry Kane and a lot of the players are offsides. That is not called. Now, when Mustafi jumps in and hits Kane, that is absolutely a penalty without a doubt.
Yeah.
Mustafi is,
what's his deal?
It's what he does.
He was also playing left back, which he hasn't played in several years, and he played it for Germany.
Yeah, but man,
right back. He's playing right back.
Correct. There is right.
His track record of late is not that good.
Well, and again, Emery's in a position where Lichtsteiner, Bellerin aren't available, and Maitland-Niles has not.
He hasn't panned out.
I don't. That is not a. That doesn't bother me. You know,
I think he's on the block though. Come the
he's
summer.
Not in the game. He is absolutely out of the club.
Come the summer, I bet he's.
I was dying listening to the Arscast coming in today because he's like, that he was like, all right, you're starting. Don't you do anything stupid. Look me in the don't you do anything stupid.
He's like the Orlando City player.
And then he did.
The midfielder we used to have.
That always got like penalties left and
he
right.
would always do stupid stuff and we'd always.
Darwin Sarin.
Yes, thank you.
You're always like, oh my God. Anyway. And then of course every now and then Mustafi wins a game for you with a header out of nowhere and you go, oh, son of a, because he's a big tall German. But anyway, so that is why he does that. It is also very weird. The team was great. Several players, Nacho Monreal, Lawrence Koscielny shut Harry Kane down, and then Socrates did it in the second half. Koscielny had Kane covered. Mustafi didn't need to do that. It's not even like a situation where Kane was in a position of, I got to do something, or he's scoring.
Right.
Koscielny was,
it was totally
none
senseless.
of it. It was just so dumb. However, it also was offsides. That's super frustrating. A little bit later, we have one of the best saves Leno's ever. I mean, that was amazing. The 2 save in a row where Leno blocked the shot on his shin. Yeah. It rebounded back into Tottenham, and he got back up and got his hand on the second one. It was save of the. Yeah, that'll be up there for save of the year. I mean, that was an amazing 1-2 punch. But and Leno needed that. Who knows who's going to be the starting goalkeeper? Keep going down. Is he a guy that can stay? Obviously, Petr Cech is. This is it for him.
You got to bring Ospina back from Napoli.
Oh yeah. But if you told me, maybe there's a start for him for a good run, even if he ends up becoming a guy that kind of does your other games and you end up finding another starter. I don't know. But anyway, great game by Leno. I'm so confused. Danny Rose goes in to try and make that shot or kick that ball in against Leno, and puts 8 studs into Leno's chest. They had to peel them out of his body. And you're going, is that going to be a red? Is that going to be... I'm confused by the rule because it was studs up straight into his chest. But Leno, and this is what's annoying, the ball was right there. He kept in the game until the ball got secured. And then he was like, ow. But he still didn't do a writhing or he didn't do anything like that. This is why players do that crap, though.
Right.
If he had grabbed his face immediately, maybe it would have. And I hate, in a way, that it doesn't get called because I feel like the next time something like that happens to him, are you going to flop on the ground? You know what I mean? Anyway,
it's a dangerous precedent.
So that doesn't get called. And so when Torreira does, again, not arguing that's not a red card, but you watch, you're like, okay, well, Danny Rose, if that's a red card, but Danny Rose maybe shouldn't have even been in the game because he should have had a red card earlier.
Well, because the ref did the ref card Danny Rose at all?
Yeah,
I thought he got a yellow card. So because of that, he can't go back in retrospective action, right?
Yes, it was a yellow, and that's why it also should have been a red because they missed an earlier where he headed right into someone, and everybody was like, "That should have been a yellow. That should have been Danny Rose's second yellow." Is what that should have been.
And they can't go back and now do anything.
Right.
That yellow was in the 69th on Danny Rose.
Right, but he had one earlier that was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe that wasn't called." Is it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that's
that was frustrating. Then yes, we move on to the Aubameyang, which was not a penalty. Maybe they called it because the guy's arm was kind of at his back, but
and at fast speeds, it looked like Sanchez's leg wrapped around Aubameyang and tripped him, but it stopped and it wasn't. And again, I think that was more of a makeup call for the offside that he had now been hearing about at this point.
But if VAR existed in this match, it would have been interesting. Would the Kane penalty have been a penalty?
No, because they would have been called offsides.
Have been a penalty.
Would have been called offsides from the start.
Or if it had been Aubameyang, would he get a chance to take it again because they ran into the box by? There was always encroachment, but it was about. They said it's about 6 yards. It should have been called. Like it was in far. It was a very bizarre end to what was a very fun London derby.
Right. I think a fair result for both teams, all things considered.
I disagree with you and say Emery did a great job. Lacazette and Aubameyang are two strikers that any team would probably take.
And have played very well together.
So the fact that they dropped the ball earlier, Lacazette had an opportunity, Aubameyang had an opportunity, not even the penalty. Your manager, you can't account for that, right? Like the game should have actually been more in Arsenal's hand. Lacazette should have scored, not that first one.
He assisted the Ramsey goal.
He did, but there was a goal, second opportunity he had.
Oh yeah,
it's like God, that should have, and he just went wide with it,
Yep.
So I don't hold that against Emery, just the same way I don't the Mustafi choice, because what else is he going to do? Except the difference of Lacazette and Aubameyang is those are two great choices. Tottenham, on paper, the way they played and who they've got, they should have owned this game. The reason I think Emery did a great job, he came in with a specific tactic, knowing if I just go in like normal, we are not going to win this game. So he went in with and also Arsenal probably had the best defensive game, even though not a clean sheet. Like I said, Socrates, second half, Koscielny, the first half. Harry Kane had one shot on goal, and it was the insane save by Leno. The defense, you're like, holy crap, even with Mustafi, take that one dumbass thing out of the way. They played better than they had ever played. So if you had told Arsenal fans before the match, would you take 1-1, take a point? Hell yeah. Does it suck because you feel like it happened late and you that was 3 points taken away? For Emery to pull this off, would it have been nice to be within 1 point of Tottenham? Yeah. But I think he did. Arsenal played better on the day. Luck favored the Spurs a bit. They do get to walk away with their heads held high, whereas Arsenal feels like they kind of were robbed of 2 points. But Emery, I think his tactics panned out, especially to have been so kind of picked on before the game started. People going, this is stupid. I mean, the friggin' on NBC, they were like, this is ridiculous. They got after the first half, they're like, well, he's vindicated. No matter the result of this match, he's vindicated the way this is playing right now.
He didn't get the win. He had now a key midfielder is out for 3 matches, and
that's not his fault.
That's not his fault. Yeah. I mean, that's not his tactical.
But if you, I don't know, if you,
that's like saying it's his fault they got injured.
Right, but why put him on as a sub? And Aubameyang, who is 2 away or 3 away from the leading goal scorer, how can he be on your bench in this game? Like, okay, yes, but he didn't get the win, and his top scorer that he brought in the second half, who he didn't start, had a very poor penalty.
Yeah, but again, you don't know that's...
Okay, but you can affect his psyche. He's not going in there with confidence anymore.
Lacazette has come millions of dollars and come off the... Dude,
okay.
No, but they've done this already this season.
I'm not... Okay.
But this season, they've already started Lacazette first and Aubameyang. They've already done this.
But not in the biggest game on your schedule.
Why is this the biggest game?
Because it's the North London Derby. It's the biggest game on your schedule. Yes, it is. It is the Manchester United Liverpool match that you circle on the calendar when that schedule comes out.
However, while Champions League could still be achieved in the Premier League, with Man United and Chelsea, it is still very hard. And you kind of, I think you're counting at this point more on Tottenham slipping a bunch to try and get into that top 4. UEFA, they might feel like they've got a shot at. I get holding Aubameyang for this UEFA match coming up.
It's no different than what Mourinho did when he essentially tanked the Premier League so that they could go to UEFA.
It's actually doing it better by still being a little more competitive in the Premier League.
Yeah.
I mean, put it this way. I mean, yes, you're a hero if you do it, you're zero if you don't. With the insanity that occurred the last years of Arsene Wenger and the feeling of the fans. If you walked away with a UEFA win this year, oh my,
that's the gamble that you play. Right.
But even at this point, if you make a great run.
No different than Mourinho.
Right.
Everybody said the same thing.
That gamble paid off though in the end. Will it pay off for Arsenal?
No, hold on. You can't look at it hindsight and bitch about Emery, how Emery's doing it. Which is what you're doing. You have to take it from when we all sat there and said, this is a huge Mourinho gamble and you're a 0 if you lose. That's what Emery's doing.
Right, but is that what he was doing? Is that what Emery was doing in this game?
Yes, he said, Aubameyang is starting Thursday. That's why he's not starting today. He was going to sub him in to play 30 minutes. So he started on Thursday. Yeah, I mean, by the way, after that game,
this is a point, but this is a chance to get into the top 4.
It is weird.
United never had a chance to get in the top 4.
It is weird you are doing this because the fans of Arsenal aren't. They're frustrated at losing it. But as far as the Aubameyang Lacazette choice, dude, they're both great. No one's complaining about that. Mustafi, you're stuck with it because of Lichtsteiner and Bellerin's situation being fit. I mean, the fans aren't really. They were prior to the game. They were like, oh, we're going to lose.
Okay, so
they were upset. And a lot of people thought this was a weird choice.
So
to walk away with a point from a team that, mind you, a few weeks ago was 4 points from the top.
Yeah.
But have been on a bad run as of late.
Well, I mean, yeah, but still, it doesn't matter. I mean, like.
I don't know. I don't think we talked about it last pod. I don't think you don't start Aubameyang. I'm not saying you don't start, like you have to start both. I would have liked to see them start both, but you don't pull Salah out of Liverpool's team when United are hampered with no more subs. You keep him on to score goals. Aubameyang being third in that race, you play him in the biggest league game that you have of the year.
You're making crazy assumptions too of like, oh, but his psyche, he was off and he got on. Actually, you don't know what Aubameyang looked like at practice. And maybe he's like, I think I need to start Lacazette. He's off this week.
Well, I mean, then why put him on to begin with? Because he didn't win you the game.
Well, neither was Lacazette. He blew 2 big chances. And a matter of fact,
Lacazette had an assist in that game.
The second chance that he blew wide, Aubameyang came on like 2 minutes later. And I even thought I wonder if Emery's thinking, it's Lacazette's not in right now. I gotta make a change.
So is this thinking they end right where they're at in 5th and they don't win the UEFA Europa League? Then what?
Every fan will be disappointed that we didn't get more. But if you told any fan with a brand new coach, with the team that we started with,
but can you look back at this game as to a potential kind of where?
No, because
you had the chance to grasp all 3 points.
No, you lose to whatever one of the smaller clubs is that's within this next stretch of games. Then yeah. Like that, I think that's really like, well, this is ridiculous. Like that should have been, because to be honest, you still walk away with a point from this. Try to at least get a point if you could try to get a point out of the Man United game. If you walked away, if you told them, would you take 2 points out of back-to-back with Tottenham, Man United for the last stretch of 9 games? Fans would say, at the game, I'd rather win, but yes, I'll take those 2 points because the rest of the season is easy following that. Still got to win those games. And you're also Tottenham. They got 1 point. They didn't get 3. You know what I mean?
Oh, no.
And right now,
both those games helped us out. Or that game helped us out greatly.
And right now, though that was a nice, that was a nice thing for Tottenham to snatch that point out of defeat. They're still the team that's I think of the top 6. A question mark kind of on Chelsea because it looks like they might be picking kind of back up. But Tottenham is the one that looks like, ooh, are they going to do a thing where they slide at the end of the season, which is what they did against. It feels like that Leicester season when they could have made the run for the top and then it just they ran away. They're at that precipice right now.
Was Ozil in this game too?
He was another late sub. It was Ozil, Aubameyang, and Torreira that came in. And guess what?
That's potentially. I mean,
that's not bad. Okay, but those aren't bad subs.
Oh no!
Granted,
but those are Ozil. 3. Ozil played.
You
don't. What Ozil did midweek though.
You got to rack back up.
Look at what Torreira's done all year.
You got to rack back up on your Arsenal history of the last 3 years. Ozil in big games is like, with the exception of what just happened with Lukaku, he does not show up for those big games. No one was shocked Ozil didn't start. They would have been more shocked if he had started.
I don't think this does much to weaken the Arsenal morale. They're coming off of 3 wins before this game, so I don't.
This year we've beaten Tottenham and now we drew them. That's pretty good.
I just don't think it's. I don't know. I don't. You hope that Emery's plan comes good in the end. Whatever he's thinking right now, if he's dumping all of his eggs into the Europa League basket, then okay. But I don't know.
Yeah, but you're saying like it's an all or nothing. I'm telling you, you walk away 5th. We talked this earlier. If Arsenal ends 5th place, where they did last year, or they end 6th, 5th last year,
or 6th last year.
If you only make it up to 5th, but you have switched coaches, the future looks bright.
Yes, I'm still
Arsenal fans are still like,
right. I'm still saying that's good, but I don't know. And this is what Mourinho at times failed to do is if you capitalize and you get all 3 points from one of your biggest games on the schedule, you then roll into the rest of your matches, to the United match on Sunday, to the whoever you play on Thursday. You roll into those games with confidence, and you roll into it with a sense of,
see, you know what's funny though?
We're going to finish the season strong.
We beat Tottenham. I feel like, we are losing to Man United. This draw actually made me feel hopeful about trying to at least get a point out of the Man United game. I won't dare say a win. You guys can score
you
too
guys
easy.
will probably beat us, to be honest with you. We're so many injuries. We're coming off this PSG game. I mean, we'll probably be.
I'm not that questionable.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Because you know why?
Guys.
You got a good coach too. I don't necessarily feel it, but I feel like, well, maybe this is an opportunity to at least get a point. Again, you walk away 2 points from these 2 games, and then the rest of your season, which is
your next 4 games or 3 games after Man United are Newcastle, Everton, Watford.
Those are all winnable games.
I think your hardest out of those 3
Newcastle
is. No, I think Watford. I don't think Newcastle.
It depends which Everton shows up, but yes, I would think Watford would be more difficult.
Newcastle, they're still fighting to stay alive. Those other 2 teams they're mid-table. They're not going anywhere.
But I'll put it this way. After 1 season, I'm excited to have Emery as our coach. I'm cool to go, excited to see what he does next year. Well, what are we going to signings and stuff like that? I feel good. I feel good about him.
Oh, I think you should, yeah. I think he's done a good job all year.
And I think the referees love Harry Kane.
I have a little bit of...
Sorry, listener Kim. I know I'm just ragging on this. Harry Kane. Yeah. Danny Rose.
It was like they were playing at Old Trafford.
I know.
It was a draw that the game needed to be a draw. And that was, I mean, the calls were bad, but the end result, I think, was fair.
Because what if you'd have been saying, granted, I'd still take the 3 points, but you're like, well, you guys won, but like that wasn't a penalty against the Aubameyang. Do you know what I mean?
So you get 3 points over
No,
your
I'm not.
rival.
No, I get that. But I'm saying the conversation would be, are you guys really getting better? Did you just get lucky? You know what I'm saying? Like, so.
Hey, we're moving on to the Champions League quarterfinals with a lucky-ish handball.
Not lucky. VAR, clear penalty.
When today?
I'll go with it.
Yeah.
I'll go with it. That was the ruling, yes. And I will go
that was the ruling. That was not a clear.
Clearer would have been Orlando City on Saturday.
Yeah, right.
They looked at it a second time and said, that's clear. So that's what I'm saying.
They did.
Like,
yes, they did. And it was actually overturned. It wasn't like it was confirmed. It was overturned.
You hear me, Kim? I'll see you next year for VAR. Watch. We'll lose because of VAR.
Why are you yelling at people?
No, because he's our buddy and he listens and he's a Spurs fan. And I feel bad because I'm always ragging on the Spurs. And one day he's like, I've stopped listening to you guys because Blake is a jerk about the Spurs.
Yeah, but the Spurs bring that on themselves. Just win a damn league title and everybody else stop.
That being said,
when's your new stadium?
Hey, what's your Spurs in or out of the top 4 at the end of the season?
I think they're going to get 4th. I think United will be 3rd.
I think they're going to place out of it.
Right now,
it wouldn't surprise me at all.
I think whatever the Man City Liverpool ends up being 1 and 2. I think it will be Man United, and I think it will be Chelsea, then Arsenal, then Spurs. Oh, did I say 6? Yeah, we're going to stop it.
5th and 6th. That'd be a shot in the nuts. Arsenal doesn't get into the top 4.
We lose the UEFA. Hey, let me do that.
Okay,
we end in 5th. Lose the UEFA. This is a terrible gamble. Aubameyang misses every shot on Thursday.
Still gets below you.
When St. Totteringham's Day happens,
it's still the win of the season.
They'll give Emery a 10-year contract.
Oh yeah,
right. So It's still within strike, and I'm not even being funny Arsenal fan. I just got a feeling, same way I did when actually Aubameyang walked up to the thing. I said, hold my little daughter watching, like, I think he's going to miss that, babe. It didn't feel, I don't know. I know you can say that in hindsight. I was like, okay. I was more annoyed that the guy came in and blocked the rebound, but the initial, I was like, he's going to miss. I just felt it. I don't know. Anyway, there's something about it. It felt like when Vardy walked up at that last second after he came on the pitch.
Oh, right.
And at that time, I was like, even though Aubameyang had been out there for a little bit. Anyway, but right now, man, I feel like the Spurs are on a cliff of, they had better kick some butt, because it feels like they could easily slip down to fourth.
Yeah.
Very easily.
What's weird is yet they're still in the top three, and they just got past Dortmund and are going to the quarterfinals of the Champions League.
Yep. And that's a question. Because of that, they're in a tough spot. See, they've gotten so close instead of a comfortable third of falling out of the Champions League. Well, before you go, screw it, we're really going to focus on the Champions League because we'll probably finish in the top four. But now you start getting in an interesting spot, and so it's harder to balance.
Yep.
It's going to be interesting last few months.
Man, yeah, it is.
It's craziness.
Yeah, it is. Which leads us to Man United.
Are we
creeping their way up?
This has become the official Arsenal Man United podcast.
Yeah, you're welcome. So maybe we can move. We'll try and move a little. I apologize. I think less of these have less controversial things that occurred.
Less controversial, but impacts, because with the North London derby draw, United get 3 points. They're back in the top four. That's exactly what happened. Yeah. Southampton put up a good fight. Game. Yep. Some wonder goals in this that 9 times out of 10 Southampton don't score, but hey. Good for them. They put him back in the net. Lukaku with 2, Pereira with his first in the Premier League.
Southampton fighting for their life. Yeah, it's different.
Oh yeah. A lot harder. And a game at Old Trafford, and it's just different there, because even tied 2-2, I don't think there's a lot of doubt that we're gonna get that third goal. It's just a different feel. If that's a Mourinho-led game, that game's ending 2-2, or we lose 3-2.
Yeah,
but
he'll play it too safe.
Right. We kept attacking, kept going forward,
defense.
and right,
exactly.
And Lukaku with a wonderful goal in the 88th, got a brace in this. Lukaku,
yeah, where's he been all season? All of a sudden, 4 goals in the last 2.
Said though, and
Rashford, he was kind of benched for Rashford.
But in the previous game, he played some defense, and
played right wing in that game against Liverpool.
So.
But he's come out and said that he's going to do what he can to fight for a spot. He's going to follow what the manager says, and he's going to give it his all. That's what he's doing. Look what he scored. What, 3 goals in his last 4 games? 2 in this, 2 in the game today against PSG, and that's a big 3 points, because that pushes us up into 4th, and now we are 3 points off of Tottenham for 3rd.
I think on the Two Robbies podcast, Robbie Musto, I believe, pointed this out. But because of how Lukaku's playing and playing like on the other foot and stuff, he was like, that to me smacks of training. Like what he's doing, he's giving it all in training. It looks and that's awesome, because a guy like that can make a ton of money.
Oh yeah,
and he already is.
When you have a front two of Rashford and Lukaku looking at you, that's a pretty good front two. You have a big bruising player, and then you have speed and just footwork with Rashford. That's a good 1-2 punch up front.
Like, I want Man United to piss off and not have this run, because Arsenal would have totally crept back into the top 4 and been staying for it if they hadn't gotten Ole. However, my Man U problem is my Liverpool problem. I cannot like Klopp. And I think Ole is kind of in a very similar...
Say his name again for me.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
That's still pretty damn close. I'll go with it.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
He's so friggin' likable too,
but in a completely different way.
Yes.
Than almost all the other managers.
In a way that he's definitely now part of the who else we want to join us for a beer with Klopp. I want Ole to.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
He's kind of like a cross between Klopp and Claudio Ranieri.
Yeah.
That's that likable quality that Claudio Ranieri has.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like the grandpa, except he's younger, so he's like your cool uncle or something. Yeah. But I like him, and so I'm like, ugh.
Hard not to.
I know. I'm like, dang it, I want you out, because Arsenal who would have thought we'd be fighting for 4th? I certainly didn't. I'm like,
yeah, which like we've already said to some degree, it must be amazing to be a player at Man U right now from that manager standpoint, because or under that manager, because he's quite clearly giving them freedom, which they've needed, but he's also teaching and gelling the tactics well with however he's preparing them week to week.
Well, he said Lukaku training and actually playing slightly different than he had. Like,
right. And it's clearly making it more fun for the players, which it pays back dividends.
Which this goes back to your Claudio Ranieri thing.
Look
the
at
whole
today.
thing they said about that Leicester run,
Yeah.
that everybody said was, look how much fun these guys are having. And he was very much
And I
fostering.
hate to see it, because there's nothing better than watching Manchester United lose.
Rude.
Just like
That
there's
glorious time for like 4 weeks. They just sat at like 10th.
yeah. And it's just
Rude.
like watching Tom Brady lose. You just love it. But
But it's like as if Tom Brady was being coached by someone you really liked too. That and see right now that
yeah.
does not happen.
No, true.
I just like the guy. It's hard not to. And if you really didn't like Jose Mourinho, I mean, you really like this guy.
right.
Still, man, gosh, where is Jose going next?
I think he should be a commentator. Do you see how much he's in the press commenting about the Roma game and the Juventus game and who the next bright player
I
for
see him trying to
Chelsea
stay
is?
relevant. He's getting a little scared.
I see him becoming the head coach of the China team that Merwin Fellaini plays for.
Hey,
There
bring him to the Super League.
Probably some truth to that.
That would be great. I'll be watching
I heard
him.
somebody say about the Ole thing where they're like, yeah, but he's coming out of he coached the Cardiff, but they didn't go out of a league in Norway. And I'll be like, you guys ever heard of freaking Arsene Wenger? This is exactly who's this dude from the J League?
Yeah.
I'm Team Ole. Go, dude.
That and he just has the United fans just have a bunch of very fun chants for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Like, have you heard some of them?
If they actually rhyme them with Solskjaer, I'll be super happy.
No, they have one that is after the tune of Stone Rose's Waterfall. That is fantastic.
TLC's Waterfall would be cooler.
This is true.
Don't go chasing Solskjaer.
Ole's at the wheel. Tell me, how does it
Yes.
feel? We've got Sanchez, Paul Pogba, and Fred, Marcus Rashford, Mank, born and bred. The greatest English football. We've won it all. And then they also have Ole, my only Solskjaer. It's something to that extent, and it's brilliant. They definitely
I
have
shouldn't
some.
think about Sanchez anymore.
Well, and you do have to feel bad for them because he's
in the
injured
summer?
right now.
I'm just
and
saying in the summer. Yeah.
yeah, maybe.
What's the reason to
Maybe.
keep him?
I think right now Ole
He has a
doesn't-
great off season, and I don't know. You are my Solskjaer,
Again,
my Ole Solskjaer. You
big
make
guy.
me happy when skies are gray. Oh, Alan Shearer was f***ing dearer. So please don't take my Solskjaer away. So Johnny Cash's You Are My Sunshine.
He is he deserves it.
Yeah,
I can't even hate on
He's
it.
like Klopp. I do. I just want to. If we could get the both of them at a bar, I would love it.
Oh, yes,
right?
that'd be fun.
Yeah. So we all get to talk about it's a rare time we all get to talk about our clubs because like they're all three in the week had a
there's
very
news
important
around
things.
too,
Yeah,
yeah.
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 So Chelsea, I mean, okay, Chelsea beat Fulham, guys. That's not crazy.
Yeah. Considering they're 19th in the table.
And Fulham have a minus 38 on goal difference.
They
the worst in the
did.
league.
Fulham kind of looked like they were playing a bit better.
Oh, speaking of which, who took charge of Fulham this week? Scotty Parker.
Oh, thank you. Yes,
Claudio
yes.
Ranieri.
Speaking of Claudio Ranieri
Yeah.
that we were talking about earlier, yep, he's gone.
Hired and fired all in the course of a few months here.
Yeah, and I mean, weird because you're like, what are you going to do at this point? But maybe they think Parker will stick around and if they get a relegate, well, they are getting relegated to be with the championship with him.
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like he wasn't really set up for success. Then that's nothing new.
No,
Look what happened to Bob Bradley and a bunch of those Swansea coaches, managers. 2 years ago? Like,
but I mean, so Chelsea should have won this game, but they had a slump.
yeah,
But
we end up winning 2-1. Higuain scores in the 20th minute. Chambers comes back and levels it in the 27th. Jorginho with the rare goal, pretty goal too, in the 31st. And then
Who was your man of the match? God.
Our keeper, Kepa.
Wow. One game on the bench, and now he's back after all of that. Did he try to get sub off in this game?
Guys, I need to be subbed.
I told you, sorry, he burned a cigarette on his hand and he learned his lesson.
Yeah, it's interesting that, they had a kiss and make up and now supposedly everything is fine. I'm doing the cautiously optimistic thing right now. It's
so I know I'm the Arsenal fan, so it just sounds like I'm saying, but I have more confidence in Chelsea's ability to creep back in that top 4 than I do Tottenham staying in it right now.
No.
I don't know.
Because you also have
a coin flip for either, I think it is.
But see, that's insane.
Well,
it should not be that way based on the
I think the difference, though, is by and large, the Chelsea morale is not good. And therefore, it is a roll of the dice how well they show up in any given match. It's not that way for Tottenham. And I think in our case, and not comparing it to anyone else, in our case, we are our worst opponents and we beat ourselves time after time. So I'm not all that optimistic on a decent climb into 3rd or 4th, or I think we're going to be below the line 5th or 6th because
you're really seeing Arsenal in that 4th spot. I got you. I see what you're saying.
Because we aren't firing like the other top 6 teams. We're eking out a win here and there, but really we're not that good. So because we are our worst enemy. Our morale is terrible. We're doing the pout in the corner thing that we'd like to do. We're not being played very effectively, in my opinion. In our last 5 matches, we have won 3 and lost 2, but those 2 we lost those 2 by 10 goals.
That's a lot of goals.
That's a lot. In the league.
Currently, you're at, what's your goal? 19. Arsenal's got 22 above you. Manchester United 20 above you. Yeah, that's man.
So our next set of matches is at Wolves. That's actually a questionable match.
Well, for anybody playing, Wolves can show up. So
yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
But with our fragile attitudes, that's a tough one. Everton, I think, is a little less tough. That's the following.
Well, if you play the team that they played against Liverpool, then
that could be difficult. Right?
I know, like, why aren't you like that the rest
Cardiff, we should walk through Cardiff.
Yeah.
Most teams do.
Yeah. And then we play West Ham, which I think is actually a gamble.
That's going to be a tough one for you guys, I think.
I think that will there. Yeah, not because it's not West Ham of 5 weeks ago. It's
West Ham now. Arnautovic is back. Anderson's playing well. They're getting Declan Rice is playing very, very well for them. So
I'm not all that. I'm not all that optimistic, to be honest.
It's crazy. Ron wins a game, not optimistic. We draw a frustrating game, but I'm far more optimistic.
But it's more about the trajectory, right?
We have Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Much more optimistic.
It's 3 more about the trajectory.
Like, just go. No. I don't know. Still, Pochettino could be good. Now look at this guy. He's all Ole.
No, okay, but
all right.
Moving on.
I continue to say Poch could still be in there, but I continue to say
into the Manchester United and Arsenal podcast.
I stated from the start. Stick with the plan.
Don't change your blue socks.
The
I'm
plan.
just saying. Keep your blue outfit, Poch. You ain't going nowhere.
It's not overreact. Stick with the plan.
You ain't going nowhere. I don't know. I have a little more confidence in Chelsea. I feel like they're showing a little bit of a spark of not a crazy run,
because
but
next
a little
week,
consistent.
They'll try to sub on Gary Cahill, and he won't want to come onto the field. And then, we'll try to walk off the field.
Cahill will come onto the field, but he'll just score for the other team.
Oh, true.
That's
true.
how that
works.
Right,
correct. A hat trick with own goals. Is your owner even? Is he allowed in the stadium anymore? Is he allowed back in the country?
Nope, not yet.
Good for him.
He's still on his yacht offshore somewhere in international waters.
That takes talent to do that.
As we've said though in several pods, clearly that is a situation when it comes to looking at what's going on with the managers.
Like.
Well, I just mean when you look at what's going on with the managers and everything else. Now you're like, well.
Because Pulish is coming in next year.
And you wonder if he's like, oh man, I should have maybe taken 10 mil less on somewhere, right?
Going to Watford, and I would have been much better
because he's going to walk into an empty locker room, just him. It's just sorry, smoking a cigarette.
Yep.
But
I wouldn't necessarily disagree with that. I mean,
No, we said that. You could wholesale, just go, screw it, guys. Hey, fans,
Have a
bear
yard
with us.
sale.
We gotta do something here.
Have a yard sale.
Run.
Sell the boots.
You
sell
can't
everything.
have a yard sale because you can't sign new players for 2 years unless you win an appeal.
That's true.
We haven't even really talked about that.
That's true.
But that,
A pair of shin guards. Give me 5 cents for it. You got it.
that is also another
5 shillings.
That's another insanity that is just
Which means
bonkers.
all we're going to be do is recalling all the loans.
Well, because
3,000 of them.
this happened to Real
Did you just say
Madrid.
3,000.
They appealed. They did not win their appeal, but they got it
Well,
dropped.
no,
to
I thought
one.
they just appealed. I don't know they did that. I just thought they appealed. I didn't think it got upheld or anything. Did it get upheld?
No, not talking about Chelsea.
Oh, sorry.
I'm talking about this happened. A similar thing happened to Real
Oh,
Madrid,
gotcha. Sorry,
where it was 2 years. Where they got it dropped to 1 year. So that's probably the reality. It's still your next. That's a
That's
crazy
still a lot.
concept. Man, would it be nuts if everyone that like Jose sent out on loan came back and you guys like won the Premier League? That would be amazing. That'd be amazing.
Well, the loan thing really isn't a manager's.
No,
isn't really the manager's main issues.
But also,
like
Jose did not play new. He did not develop the young kids. He's
yeah,
like,
of
whatever.
course. But Jose Mourinho has never. That's not his thing.
But for Jose to have made the complaints he made, and then Conte to say how he felt about being at the club.
Yeah.
Sorry, I feel he
And-
knew what he was
yeah.
walking into, so he's not really saying those things. I think he knew it walking in.
I mean, he says he does talk about that, but I think the hard part for Sarri is that he refuses to change the tactics. He changes the lineup a bit in between competitions, but he's not really changing anything as far as the strategy of the way the team plays. He forces his strategy, and everybody's got to bend to that.
Actually, that point, because of the tactics that Emery chose for the Arsenal game, that was actually the comparison that kept getting brought up was Sarri and Emery.
Yeah.
In that respect, because Emery has been, this is what I got to deal with right now. Let me make some changes, whatever. Ole, because of the injuries and things.
Right.
People have been, instead of forcing.
Sarri's not, but and everyone can see that Sarri doesn't have the personnel to play his style of ball. Yet he's still just pounding his head into that wall. We still shouldn't have Jorginho in the center. We should have N'Golo Kante, who is arguably the best at that position in the world right now, and you're playing him completely out of position. It just doesn't.
No, he's not your man. Sarri's going to finish the season.
Of course.
Unless any more insanity happened. And honestly, I think if it did, he'd leave.
Well, who knows? Maybe one day
He almost left in the Cup game.
maybe he'll just walk off and not come back.
Right?
I think you'll have a new manager. I don't know. And you know what's exciting about that, though? The whole shakeup of manager races and who could go where, because of the dark horse of Ole coming out of nowhere, it does leave some interesting managers out there if they feel like they can deal with the ownership situation.
Yeah.
Who wants to deal with that ownership?
I mean,
situation?
because Chelsea's got a pedigree that like you could have gotten like a Zidane or something like that. But if they don't, if you're that guy, you're like, nah, I'll go somewhere else. I don't have to deal with that situation.
There's too much history built up in the fact that the front office and the ownership are a giant pain in the ass to deal with.
Yeah, I think that's the worry about.
And you've been through what 10 managers in the last 10 years or something.
Well, not really.
You know what's gonna happen.
Well, it's not
You know
far
who's
off.
you know who's manager
It's
next
not
year?
far off. Think about it.
Well, every manager. So for the last
can think of, what, six offhand?
6 years, there's been 3 managers.
Yeah, it's every couple of years.
So it's usually
Jose did his normal 3.
It's every 2 to 3 years.
Jose
I thought
did
it
his
was-
3
I thought it was
twice.
4 or 5 in those 3 years.
No, because
Roberto
Antonio
Di
Conte
Matteo was in there.
Hold on,
Hiddink was in
But he
there.
came in as just a
not in
stopgap.
10 years.
Okay.
Jose's there for 3, right? There's 3
Right.
years. Conte's in there for 2. That's 5 years right there.
In the last 10 years, you've had at least 6 or 7 managers going there. Dioteo was in there. Hiddink was in there.
I don't think that's accurate. I'll have to look it up. But I don't
Roberto
think
Di
that's
Matteo
accurate.
won the 2012
10 years.
Champions League.
Jose was there twice.
That's 6 years ago. The 2012. When the hell did Chelsea win?
I have to look it up. I
The
don't think
next
that's
manager of the Chelsea Football Club is Jose Mourinho. He's going to come back for round 3.
As
Yeah,
long as
2012. He won. He won them. So that was 6 years ago. So he lasted most of the 2013 season, and then he came in. Who was there for? Did Goose Hiddink come in
Hasn't he come in twice as stopgap?
For Mourinho? When he got
came in,
sacked?
Yeah, he came in and then Conte came in, right?
No, I don't know.
I know it's been a mess. But I think that's the fear for being able to hire a good manager is, will a good manager come deal with that? That's
I don't know.
Question.
I don't know.
We should move on.
So from 2012, is that where we are? Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
So you've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Not 10.
No, I said 10 in the last 10 years. Not far off. We're at 6 and 6 right now.
You're still not right. That's what that means.
Still. Now, well, then go look it up from 2009 then. Let's see how far off we are.
9.
Oh, you son of a... I was not far off.
I'll give you that. You weren't far off.
I knew it was somewhere in that realm.
If we were playing the FA Cup, Ferris would have won.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And that's going to the point of who wants to come in at this point. I mean, to Blake's and work under some guy sitting out in his yacht in the channel because he can't get into the actual country.
Yeah, it's a tough spot. It's a tough spot for him to be in. Moving on to the Merseyside derby. We had a friend that was at the game. Man, that would have been so cool. A friend of ours is a big Everton fan.
She put up some great pictures.
Oh, dude, yeah. And man, this was pictures from the pub with the Guinness things.
Yeah, it was so fun.
It just made me so thirsty looking at it. Oh, so good. Man.
Good for Everton.
But from the starting off with the Tottenham Arsenal for your derby matches and then ending with this one, this is not disappoint. Like
no, it was a good 0-0 draw, a very fun 0-0 draw.
Man, and I got to be honest, could have more easily been the Everton win than Liverpool.
They had their chances. Yeah,
Like,
both keepers played really, really well in this game. Salah not hitting the mark. Played well.
Is why when you say
didn't finish the ball, Van Dijk had another fantastic game for them. Keane on the other side of it had a fantastic game for Everton.
Yeah, when you said, it should be an easier time for Arsenal to deal with Everton, I was like, well, I guess it just kind of depends how Everton rolls out of this. Because, man, they look good. They looked really good.
Real nice, Clark.
The stats are overwhelmingly in the favor of Liverpool, but Liverpool just having that hard time in the final third.
Got to finish, yeah.
Mane had several chances. Yeah. That was a draw that's going to obviously feel like a loss because Liverpool should have done so much.
They needed to keep pace.
I was going to say,
with them getting the point, they now dropped out of first and into second.
Well,
they're only behind City by a point, but still, now if City went out, it's over.
Yeah, you said, will they look back for the Arsenal-Tottenham match going, they only got one. I don't think so. I think however this season goes, I don't think so. This one though, that will possibly be and the top is exactly one to do. If Everton or Liverpool does not win the Premier League, they will celebrate like they won it.
Yep.
Yeah, the Everton will go nuts because they're 0.48 miles apart from each other, which I just love, or whatever it is. Like,
you can stand in one ground and look over and see the other one.
It's so great. But yeah, just a great game by a lot of good people that led to the rare, super exciting 0-0 draw.
Mm-hmm.
Liverpool, unfortunately, has had a couple of those. The Bayern Munich Liverpool match was a 0-0 draw that was a blast. Liverpool has just got to do what I don't know what's happening in that final third, if something's in the head of folks, or have we just gone long enough in the season that managers are figuring out the deal with the front? Possibly. That's still such a talented group of people up front.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
Still plus 49 and 70 points.
The good news is, we had the best title run we've had in a bit. Yeah. Since the Leicester one, I'd say.
Yeah, close. But I mean, I think everybody at that point wasn't so much concerned about the race. They were just wanting Leicester to get across there. This is, you don't really know who. What you know is it's either going to be Man City or Liverpool. Odds are that Tottenham and United get enough points up there. I highly doubt that. But your top six: Man City, Liverpool, Tottenham, Man United, Arsenal, Chelsea. 71 points for City, 70 points for Liverpool, 61 points for Tottenham, 58 points for Manchester United, 57 points for Arsenal, 56 points for Chelsea. And then you're all the way down to 7th with Wolves on 43. But that 56, 57, 58, 61 battle for the last two places, I think is going to be just as interesting as a race for the title.
And then your top spot for the relegation is probably going to be a run as well.
Yeah, but I think the three teams that are down there, Cardiff City in 18th, Fulham in 19th, and Huddersfield in 20th, I think that's how it's going to end.
Yes, Cardiff City would need to get some stuff going for it to make that.
They're only 2 points off of Southampton, but I think Southampton are strong enough, and Cardiff City are not.
It's definitely a
and
fun,
all those 3 teams are the only ones that have minus 30s in goal difference. So
Yeah.
but it's going to be a fun run for the entire top
absolutely.
4.
Yeah.
I mean,
Agreed. And Liverpool is so in the last 5 matches, Liverpool have drawn 3 times, won twice.
that's killing them.
So
In other words, they should be ahead by like 8 points, but
yeah. And that's got to be a morale hit, even though you haven't lost one, because you are not.
because you were
absolutely.
clearly almost 10 points
Absolutely.
ahead.
Right.
What? Not that long ago.
You've dropped so
Yeah.
many points, and you're not scoring as much as you normally have.
Now,
hold
that
on.
being said, though, go ahead.
Real quick, in the last 5 games, you've scored 9 goals, which is still really good. The problem is that all those goals came up on basically whipping out somebody else's ass.
Right.
It's not like you
2 games.
It's not a consistent scoring over the last 5 games.
But now that being said, while they're dealing with this slump but still getting points, Man City has shown that they'll slip up and just drop all 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're
So
looking like they're starting to get back on form.
They
though, which is
are,
scary.
but Kevin De Bruyne, that's a big hit again for them.
Yeah, but he was out a majority of the year beforehand, and they still rolled over people.
It's true, but here we haven't gotten to this point in a while where all these clubs, including Tottenham, even though they're further down by 9 points in third, they're all still in the Champions League.
And guess who plays on March 31st? Liverpool and Tottenham.
Yep. Liverpool's next 5 matches,
Liverpool needs to smoke that
Burnley,
game for some.
which-
Not as easy as it seems.
which
No.
that could be a hard one for them. Fulham, we expect a multi-goal clean sheet.
You did forget to mention after the Burnley game that Wednesday, they do play Bayern Munich for just a second leg. Who Bayern
actually,
Munich's
I'm
on an
just talking
upswing
about
right
in
now.
the league.
Yeah.
But that's important out of the sense of since it was a 0-0 draw, he's got to throw the best. They got to throw everybody.
Bayern
at that
Munich are
game.
looking good right now.
Because also, Man City and Liverpool can't afford at this point to lay off of the Champions League run because it is so close to the Premier League that you don't want to lose out.
You've got to put the pedal to the metal in
Yeah.
both competitions.
That's freaking rad, man. I mean, like it's
Yeah. And, the good news is that they have deep benches.
they do. They absolutely do.
So it'll be interesting to see how the tactics play out and who's getting what playing time in what leagues. It's going to be fun to watch. Regardless.
Business end of the season.
Yeah, lot of business. So should we do our next beer, then move to our MLS preview of the West?
Yeah. Do we want to cover the MLS round 1 real quick? So some of the games that happened. We don't have to go too in depth, I don't think, with it because it's only round 1. But there were some very interesting games within all of this. You got here in Orlando at 2-2. Orlando City come back against NYCFC.
Come back from 2 goals down.
2 goals down and a little bit of VAR action
Great second
there.
half.
Great
They-
second
that
half.
Orlando
Yep.
had, yeah.
I think we can't judge Orlando City until May, June, July. But Dom and Nanny came on in the second half along with Coleman, and they definitely added a spark to the second half. Mueller had a great game. It was named man of the match. What a game in Colorado. 3-3 against the Timbers in a snowstorm.
Yep.
It was insane.
That was so much fun.
Insane.
Holy Snow Batman is your title.
It was nuts.
Like, I get it and don't get it all at the same time.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Kamara gets off for Colorado, and there's a couple own goals there, and the refs' eyebrows were frozen. It was nuts.
What a fun match.
Yeah, fun match, and kind of questions if the game maybe even been played, but it
Harkens
was.
back to that the U.S. men's national team game that we played in snow.
Oh, yeah.
How many years ago?
Right.
That was a ton of fun.
I know why we couldn't skip this. Go ahead and talk about the next game.
Oh my God, Zlatan does what Zlatan wants.
I was like,
to.
why? Oh, this is why we got to talk about this.
2-1 Galaxy.
with the video game style header from last week. Oh my God, that
Yep.
was so funny.
Zlatan scores in the 80th to give the Galaxy 2-1. I mean, in all honesty, the Galaxy really didn't look that good.
You did not need to look good when Zlatan
Chicago
is there.
Fire kind of got a fortunate goal, but nonetheless, there's no other way to start the MLS season except for Zlatan getting the game-winning goal.
And did you? Sorry, real quick. Did you watch Zlatan's interview at the end of that match?
I think you had texted us, right?
Yeah, so I'm watching this.
What was my response back to you?
He looked so funny. He's the guy is clearly the reporter is clearly shorter than Zlatan. Everyone's shorter than Zlatan, and he's asking him all these great questions. Zlatan is a very gracious interviewer or interviewee, giving really good answers. But he does never once does he look at the reporter. He looks over him the entire time. Not once does he glance down. You
look up to Zlatan. Zlatan does not look down to you.
He goes, Ron says, he doesn't look at the reporter, LOL. And I go, he looks his kingdom in the eye, not the peasants.
But it's just
Swedish lion.
It was so interesting to watch.
Everything the light touches is your land.
It's so funny.
This is why this is the best jersey. We just advanced to the Champions League, and whose name's on the back? This is a little Latan.
So funny. He's just what a great
business
character.
In the front, party in the back. That's what this jersey says.
So funny.
A really fun game. Seattle Sounders FC versus FC Cincinnati. Really fun game in the fact that FC Cincinnati's first goal in the MLS
their fans traveled real well.
Yes,
too.
they did. Was in a CenturyLink field in a strike and a half from Bertone,
man.
And they went up 1-0. But Seattle Sounders
inside 13, yeah,
inside 13. But what a strike! That's a hell of a way just to open up your MLS account.
And then Jordan Morris
coming back
shows up after injury, all of last season out, comes back and decides I'm going to put 2 in 10 minutes.
And
right
some
before
lovely
the half,
goals from him. Yeah,
I'm going to completely squash Cincinnati's form and just take them out of the game.
Did you see the tweet that Seattle Sounders sent to FC Cincinnati?
No.
They shared something they said, but Seattle goes, they were like, it wasn't like welcome to the league, but they didn't say something like that. Like they were like, what a great, it was great to see you for this preseason match.
Oh,
and the responses underneath were like just people doing gifs of flame and like what it was. I was like, that's awesome. I like that.
That's brutal.
And then so the fans underneath were going like, welcome to MLS. And I was like, well, I like that they didn't actually say that.
Right.
Just so great. Oh man.
Then some quick fire games for a very short period of time. Guess who was a leading goal scorer in the MLS? Michael Bradley was, with a brace to get Toronto FC off to a flying start against the Union. They won 3-1. Columbus Drew came back to draw against the Red Bulls.
Was he the leading scorer?
He was the leading scorer. I think now he's tied with Jordan Morris to be the The Revs get a goal in the second half to draw against FC Dallas 1-1. Dynamo, again, get a goal against Salt Lake to draw at 1-1. Minnesota United.
Wow.
3-2, against the Whitecaps.
Not an easy one.
No, and one that, yes, that's Minnesota United. And then the Impact 2-1 over Earthquakes. Tadier, one of their signings, along with Piatti, had a very good game in that. And DC, the Sunday games. Yeah. DC just picked back up from where they left off and beat the champs. 2-0 in DC.
In the cold rain.
Cold rain. And yes, Atlanta United was coming off of their CONCACAF Champions League game, which they won 3-0 midweek, 3-1 maybe. But still, a very good win for DC. And
Atlanta really missed Alberta.
Acosta put in one of those goals there. And God, it's good that he stayed, because the partnership with him and Wayne Rooney is fun to watch. And then Diamante gets a very late 90-plus goal for LAFC in their first ever home season opener at home game against Sporting to win 2-1.
That was a fun match.
Cool scenes there too. Yeah,
really enjoyed that.
Very fun opening week in the MLS.
Well, let's get to another beer and get through our preview of MLS West.
Dun, dun, dun. All right, so the next beer, also a foreign beer, because I just got back from the Canadian Rockies. Grizzly Paw Brewing Company.
So Canadian
that sounds manly as hell.
In Canmore, Alberta, Canada, right in the heart of the Canadian Rockies. Brewery established in 1996. By 2009,
great year.
Their business is just exploding. They had a ton of fermenter space, and they are just off to the races. Right now, their capacity is 630 hectoliters of fresh beer. They also do their own fresh sodas with no preservatives, and it's pretty. It's a pretty slick little brewery. They have a ton.
Where's Canadians say pop?
Right.
Gross.
They have a ton of really good beers, and so I bring you all the way from the Canadian Rockies, Evolution IPA.
Nice.
There's
we get a pint.
Oh, it's in a can, which makes sense because these were made in Canmore.
Oh, thank you. That joke.
Yeah, we got it. We're splitting these two.
Oh, okay. Sweet.
This Evolution IPA, balanced golden copper colored IPA,
Beautiful black and white photo of the ride. Love it. Yeah.
has the citrus aroma like that passion fruity citrus kind of hop smell right off the top, with a good pine flavor, leads to a nice soft finish. And it's an incredible hop head beer. So that was the beer I brought back from vacation.
Did you get an explanation of Bullfrog Power?
No, I was looking for that. I couldn't find.
It says our handcrafted beer is made in a Bullfrog powered brewery with 100% clean, pollution free electricity.
Yeah,
I guess Bullfrog Power is like the name of a company, but I just like imagining a ton of bullfrogs with like
just hopping
lashes,
and generate
leashes like attached to them, and they're like just hopping like on the wheel. And
brewed fresh in the Canadian Rockies.
Yeah, I drank a bunch of their beers while I was there.
Sorry, did you do the little description that was on there?
I did not yet. Go ahead.
The balanced Evolution IPA. The balanced copper-colored IPA is a big hop aroma of citrus and passion fruit, which combines with resinous and pine hop flavors, leading to a softly bitter finish. This is the clear choice for hop heads. Ooh.
One of the cool slogans that they have on their beer and soda is brewed with fresh water, local ingredients, and brewed by locals who care.
And bullfrogs.
Cool. Well, Blake, should we open these up and start to split it?
Man. So it's the same. These both cans are the same beer.
Yeah.
We're just splitting these.
We're just splitting them. That's what I was able to bring home. If you followed the Untapped, I blew up our Untapped.
Here you go,
while I was
get
in
all three
Canada.
over here for you. Make life easier.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Right over your computer, so if you spill, it ruins your computer.
I had a ton of good beers in Canada. So if you ever have the chance, get up there. They have it's exploding. Craft beer's exploding up there just as much as it is.
I lived in Canada a real brief period in basically the year 2008, and that was just like not the case.
Right.
It was like not at all. So that's really cool to see. Montreal had some stuff going, but not as much the rest of the country. That's cool to see.
And it's interesting because this brewery has split up their beers into 4 categories. Founders, which is if a beer is in the founders category, it's all of the beers that essentially they started the brewery with, right? So if you go to
I like that.
thegrizzlypaw.com, that's their website. Summit Beers, this is all of the newest beers that they're giving a try. And some of them will disappear because they're not successful. Other ones will take their place. The 622 Main Street beers are all small batch beers. So these may not be repeated. They may become Summit beers. They may become seasonal beers. But these are all small batch recipes that they're giving a whirl.
This is a slightly darker golden than our previous beer.
Yeah,
not as
nice
yellow.
color though.
Yeah, like you said, copper was the description that hits. It smells.
Yeah. Oh God,
heavenly.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, that hop aroma is.
Yeah, that's that kind of citrusy
fruit with the pine. Yeah,
passion fruit pine thing they've got going.
Oh, I can't wait to try this
soap that smells like this. Jeez.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I would make this the air
candle?
freshener in my car.
A candle, yeah.
Oh yes, that's got to exist, right?
I don't know, but they should make it. I'd buy it. The Grizzly Paw candle.
Hey man, Brewtiful Wicks. We got a whole new side business.
So original. I love that when breweries do this for the home brewers. The original gravity 14.5, final gravity 3.0. So that tells you something right there.
Yeah. 6.2 was that the ABV?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, boom.
And then the IBU is 67. Canmore, Alberta, Canada. Get up there.
Boom. All right, gents.
Cilantro.
Cheers, eh? What the what?
It's not the FA Cup.
It's
Canmore, Canada.
That is so hoppy up front. It should peel your teeth off, but
it's not. Yeah, it smooths out really well at the end.
Quick.
Absolutely.
You get all the aroma and like flavor without a ton. It's bitter. Don't be wrong. It's IPA. It's got the bitter at the end.
Yeah.
But not like not what you'd expect for the amount of hops that are hitting you.
Right. You expect this beer to be a little more like
juicy finish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. You expect this, the way it smells, you expect it to taste like a hopsecutioner.
Like a Stone,
Yeah, one of
IPA or
those
something.
really
Yeah.
like beat you with the hops. But this one
Man.
smooths out so well.
This
Lovely
is on
drinking.
up
Yeah,
there
this
for
is
one of
really
my
lovely drinking.
top IPAs.
Yeah.
Real nice.
I've been
I think
off of
this is-
IPAs for so long. I've kind of I'm swinging back around.
I've got more into IPAs,
Yeah.
to be honest with you.
I think my top three IPAs right now, 2 of them are Canadian. The Forefathers batch that we had,
that thing.
that
yeah.
one is easily in the top 3, and this one pushes its way into the top 3.
Man, slap your face.
So good.
And Ron got to have a double at Tim Hortons.
Actually,
Did you not order a double?
I didn't.
You jerk.
I didn't. So
You did not assimilate to the
Hold-
Canadian culture.
hold
You
on.
wanker.
Whatever. Out of 4 days I was there, I had 3 poutines. I had all dressed
Whoa,
chips.
whoa. This is a
I don't
family
know,
program
6
there.
times.
All dressed chips, so good.
Not
Oh, yes, they
the
are.
same in the U.S.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
You got Ruffles too. Still, weirdly
The
enough,
ones
Ruffles
in
is
Canada,
the best one.
the ones you get
I
in
haven't had those in
Canada.
forever.
So the Ruffles all dressed chips in Canada and the Ruffles all dressed chips in the United States, not the
Canadian
same.
ones are better, but I always still have friends bring me back the ones from Canada. They're better there.
Yeah,
But it is
without
still
question.
Ruffles, which is weird. It is
Yeah.
still because you can get all dressed other chips from Canada, other company, and
And
Ruffles are the better ones.
Right.
Yeah, by far.
Huh.
So I don't want to hear it. But so the reason I didn't is where we were skiing, the only Tim Hortons I found was in the airport. And the line was a mile long, and I wasn't going to go sit on line.
Yeah, they don't
for-
sit in line to Starbucks over there. They're in line to Tim Hortons, man. Can't
Yeah.
get that double.
Yeah, that's
cooler.
accurate. And the funny thing is, when I was in town, there is a Tim Hortons in town, but it was way off the beaten path, and I wasn't able to
It
get
wasn't
there.
worth it,
Starbucks was basically empty. I mean, there was like 3 or 4
So
people
fun.
in it.
You love it.
Odd, yeah.
Love it. All right. On to the MLS West preview.
Western Conference.
Yeah, so we'll clip on along with these, but we want to take a look at everybody. That's why we want to separate it into 2 different episodes. So first up, we got Sporting KC. They are, for those of you who hadn't listened before, we're going to start in order of how they finished last year in points. Sporting KC finished on 62 points in the West on top. Their ins and outs or items of note from the offseason, Kellen Rowe from New England and Rodney Wallace from NYCFCN. And like you said, Ike Opara is really the only person out for the club.
Which means they have a really just solid
Yeah,
club.
yeah.
And they showed that in LAFC. Probably should have gotten out of there with the draw, but yeah, they're going to be a solid club. And in my book, you could see them back up there. Maybe not first, but I think they'll make the playoffs.
Yeah,
again.
Canes are gonna have they're gonna have a good season.
Yeah, agreed.
Well, I guess that's our quick thoughts. I mean, truly, they've got a good club. Also, should mention, I apologize, as we did for the East, based off of Yelp, we are having the top brewery in the town. The club is either in or in reality that their stadium is actually in. Sometimes, they don't actually play in the
Right. So like with the
in New York, you did a
Galaxy, that'll be from Carson City with
Right.
LAFC from Los Angeles.
So, and again, this is according to Yelp. So, again,
Not a brewery site,
if
but-
anyone disagrees who listens from one of these areas and you say, no, actually, it's this one for the match,
Right.
let us know. Let us know.
And Yelp just seemed to have the most consistent top 10 where to pull the info from. Beer Advocate and some of the others had top 10s, but they didn't have it for every city that an MLS team was in. So, yeah. But the first one up from Sporting KC, so in Kansas City, best brewery there, that is from Yelp, according. Casual Animal Brewing, 4.5 stars with 40.
I love that name.
That's awesome.
And what's even better is I go to their site, casualanimalbrewing.com, and the first words I see, laid back beers that tap into your wild side.
I already want to sit on a couch. They better have couches in there.
Right?
Like,
Absolutely.
What a great tagline for their name.
Oh yeah,
great.
And it stands. The Casual Animal stands for small batch, fresh as hell, local approach. We're focused on
Fresh as
quality
That's
over
great.
quantity and community involvement over self-interest. We're a different breed compared to the marginal-driven corporate breweries that are high in both automation and preservatives. So a very cool kind of. They have cool merch
already one of my top breweries you've named off these lists just based off that
Right?
description.
Yeah.
Very cool merch. I'm trying to find where exactly some of their menus and stuff are, but a pretty slick site. And Yeah, it should be a very good one. Fairly new because they only have 49 reviews, you would think, but casualanimalbrewing.com.
Wicked.
Wonderful. Well, that leads us to the Seattle Sounders, who finished on 59 points, and if I'm not mistaken, lost in a two-legged shootout with Portland last year.
Two-legged back and forth, 3-1.
Yeah.
Away goals count or don't. We're not quite sure, but who cares? Thank God the MLS changed the playoffs for this coming year.
Amen.
Thank God.
Yep. Not really anyone in of note, but their crazy, insane striker, Jordan Morris,
about him,
back from injury, and in his first game, as we talked about already, nets 2. So
What a dude.
they are packed with talent.
Yeah, they're probably going to have a good season, guys.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think you'll see Seattle again in the playoffs.
East kind of dominated the talks last year.
Yeah.
But I could definitely see Sporting KC and Seattle Sounders having a very strong season.
Yeah, I mean, look at the
Swinging that back a little
Nicholas Ladero, Christian Roldan, Jordan Morris.
Chad Marshall at the back still.
They're gonna be contenders from the beginning.
Absolutely.
bit. Oh.
Okay.
You got the next one?
No, we do the brewery in Seattle.
He does the Brewers.
It is,
We've been switching back.
According to Yelp.
It's been a week.
So one that Ron and I did not go to up in Seattle. I don't know if we heard about it, but a 4.5-star rating, 208 reviews. Cloudburst Brewing.
Cool. I was wondering what was going to come top there, if it was going to be Elysium or whatever.
Right. So cloudburstbrew.com. They have some of their beers that are currently on tap. Happy Little Clouds. It's a nice German Pilsner.
It better be like a
Speed
Bob
of
Ross on
Change,
there.
a DIPA, Deep Red Bells, NW Red Ale, Free Smoke, Smoked Hillies, and then some others. And they have some past beers on here as well. Looks like a pretty cool place to go. Should be very, very interesting. I don't quite see About Me on there, but they seem like they're fairly new-ish brewery. Located right, actually, I don't know, Ron, how we missed this, right near Pike Place Market, so not too far near
right
the
in
Moore,
there.
right over there near the Moore Theater is where
I have to go
it
back.
has them. So
Always a reason to go back.
oh, absolutely. Cloudburstbrew.com.
Man, I want to try more beers now. I think it's because this one is so good. I'm trying to slow myself down a little bit because I'm like, I just want another taste.
Right?
Dang, that thing's good.
So good.
All right, this moves us over to LAFC, Los Angeles FC, finished on 57 points. I forgot how tight it was in the West.
Yeah, real tight all year.
So LAFC, notable ins and outs. I have to move this closer so I read these names correctly. Fellheiber.
Benny Fellhaber.
Thank you. Why? You can't say Christian Pulisic.
He's a U.S. national player. You're right. I can't think
Solskjaer and Fellhaber.
Benny Fellhaber.
And Matinho out. Eddie Segura signed from Atletico Ilia in Colombia. And Rodolfo Zelaya from El Salvador International are in.
Some young South American talent there.
Really good first season for LA.
Show, yeah.
FC last year.
And I haven't watched it, but has anybody watched the ESPN Plus We Are LAFC kind of a 10-part series? I did see it too. I haven't seen
been
it
able to watch
either.
it yet.
So
I'm
much
interested in that.
good, like between like all the stuff that NBC Soccer's been doing with their downloads and ESPN Plus. There's some good, or is that technically an MLS Live thing?
It's an MLS. What?
Because MLS Live is on ESPN Plus. I wasn't sure who was producing that.
I thought ESPN Plus was doing it separately.
ESPN Plus is MLS Live kind of phased
Because they
themselves out.
love LA. They love Will Ferrell.
I just meant
so
I didn't
it's
know
probably
if
an
it
ESPN
was an MLS produced thing or if that was ESPN. That
So speaking of Will Ferrell, who it's brilliant. It's a brilliant move for the coverage for the LAFC home games to have some of the owners who are stars.
It's got like a multitude
Right.
of them. Yeah.
On, being interviewed, especially Will Ferrell, because he's always entertaining. But this leads me to the question of, I knew that they had a bunch of owners, so I went and did a little research. How many owners?
What the what? It's the LAFC. How many owners cup?
How many owners?
They have a whole bunch.
God, I love that you've got a new game every year.
Wait, how many can you name?
No.
I can name a
we got to
bunch.
guess.
I can name a bunch.
Got you. Sorry.
But it's unfair because I looked it
I'm
up,
so sorry.
right? Because I was curious.
So we got to guess.
So you have to guess, and It's insane how many owners they have.
Oh, then I thought I had a high number, but now you should me think it's not
I think I
high
can
enough.
name 3.
Well, just how many total?
name them.
Oh, I would say 10. The 3 that I can name: Will Ferrell, Mia Hamm, Serena Williams.
Okay.
Maybe
But your number, your total is
10.
28.
28. Blake with 28. He is closer.
Is he really?
Yeah. 31. 31
serious, Mark?
owners, including Larry Berg, Brandon Beck, Bennett Rosenthal, Henry Nguyen, Tom Penn, Peter Goober,
Goober.
Ruben Nollingham, Vincent Tan, Will Farrell, Mia Hamm, Nomar
Garcia Pera.
Thank you. Magic Johnson, Goodwin Gaw, Chad Hurley, Tucker Kane, Kirk Lykob, Mitch Lasky. I'll just keep reading. But Tony
Serena, but I knew
Robbins.
him.
Tony Robbins owns part of them.
Just his teeth own it, part of it.
30.
Love his ice cream.
Yeah, right. 30.
Where does he have ice cream? What does he
Tony
have?
Robbins, the
That's the
inspirational
motivational thing, but
speaker.
what else does he? Doesn't he? Isn't there
I
like a
don't know,
food
but
or an
he
ice
did
cream or
ice
something?
cream.
Baskin Robbins.
Robbins,
way
yeah.
off.
So,
Handsome ice.
So I was like, well, actually,
took me a second
Jeremy
to think of that.
Baskins does own it.
Jeremy,
but, so on
Ben, but not Jerry. Has
So check this out. On the owner's page, I have a slice of 6 of the owners smiling on the LAFC page. The thing that stands out the most, Tony Robbins' teeth.
No, his teeth.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Right there.
Oh,
Ding.
God, look at that smile.
Erwin Raj looks like he's Nicolas Cage's cousin.
Yeah, right? 31 owners. I didn't know they had that many.
I was gonna guess
Who's like the principal owner? Is that Will Ferrell?
I was gonna guess 10, thinking that was high. And he said it was insane. I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
I guess I got it.
Well, your leading managing owner is Larry Berg. Your co-managing is Brandon Deck. And then there's another co-manager who is Bennett Rosenthal. I'm assuming that they have put more in.
Larry Bird, the basketball player? Right, yeah.
No, Larry Bird, the golfer.
Larry Berg.
You're Paul Lummer. That's what I am.
Off the wall.
I guess it's
Over
interesting.
the-
I didn't know
over the
Larry
fence.
Bird. I knew Magic Johnson, but
Nothing but net.
interesting, Yeah.
30,
Remember?
31.
shoot on you.
It's so crazy.
Oh, man.
31 owners.
That's a lot.
Could you imagine trying to get all these people together to have a vote on something?
No, but it's got to be easier to raise money when you can spread it out so much.
Yeah, I bet. I just thought that was interesting, so sorry.
One big game of horse with Magic Johnson and Larry, and they all just get in line, all
not-
31 to see who.
it's
Or
not-
no, not horse. What is it?
Horse.
Knockout. No, where you have to try to knock the person out in front of you. You have to make it first. And
I have not thought of knockout with basketball forever.
Can you imagine
dude.
playing 31 owners of that?
gosh.
See who wins?
How many PE periods were spent playing knockouts?
So much
Just to
fun.
clear it
yeah,
up.
forget about that game.
Larry Berg. Not
Oh,
Larry,
not Larry Bird.
Oh.
That's why I thought it
Well,
was
now
so
all
interesting.
my
I was like,
jokes
wait,
are-
Magic Johnson and Larry Bird are on the same freaking team? That's weird.
Now my jokes
okay,
don't
yeah,
count.
now they don't. Right.
Dang it, Ron.
I've
Make it
been
Larry
trying
Bird.
to. I've been
Tony
trying
Robbins
to
and
tell you.
Baskin Robbins.
Ron, why are you giving us false information?
Oh, whatever.
God almighty.
Larry Berg. I was way off.
Hey,
Okay, get to the damn brewery.
damn brewery. We're going to talk. It is out of Los Angeles, 4.5-star rating, 334 reviews. Boomtown Brewing. And gentlemen, may I just tell you, I want to try one of their beers automatically on here. I will get to that in a second. Their philosophy: we deliver beers from a painstaking, time-consuming process using only the finest ingredients, allowing for maximum amount of flavor. BoomtownBrew.com. What is currently on tap is a March 3rd at 1:12 p.m. Pacific time. Mike Check, which is a Bohemian Pilsner.
1212.
Thank you. But one that I want to try, and I think is quite funny for being in LA, Nose Job. It's a West Coast IPA. 7% ABV.
Awesome.
Submission, which is a Belgium Golden Strong, Limelight IPA, Northwest IPA, and Bad Hombre,
Oh, nice.
Mexican style lager. And then they have a whole
digging.
bunch of seasonal beers too.
I'm absolutely digging the craft breweries. They're doing craft Mexican style lagers.
I do too. We had one at Ellipsis that was quite
Oscar,
well. That was something Ombre. It wasn't Bad Ombre, but it's called
Oscar
something
Blues makes with the guys that make Dale's Pale Ale. They make one that's
Oh, do
great.
they
The
really?
Beerito.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't think I've had that
Oh,
one yet.
right.
I think love it. Love that fad that's going on.
Yeah. Boomtown Brewing Boost, a 3,300 square foot tap room with communal and lounge seating, games for rent, including billiards, darts, shuffleboard, ping pong, and cornhole, as well as a substantial sound system to thrill your eardrums, and playlist or regular DJ lineups Thursday through Sunday. So 30-foot bar they got there, and yeah. in Los Angeles. Looks pretty sleek. Looks very Los Angeles-esque. And look like they have some good beer and a really good, really fun tap room. Really big, but very LA. So boomtownbrew.com.
Well, then that takes us over to FC Dallas, who finished on 57 points last season.
At fourth, that's only 6 points from between them all the way to the top, because that top four was
tight.
Yeah,
that was awesome. A fun race. So Brian Acosta is in as a designated player from the Spanish side, Tenerife. And Maxi Arrudi is out, goes to Montreal.
Great name, though.
That's a big loss for them.
That's a huge loss for those guys. They drew to New England in their opening match, and they looked a little sluggish. I think they're going to be a fun team to watch. Another 6 weeks.
Might struggle to hold on to this top four spot.
I don't know. I think they've got enough creativity and enough speed in the wings.
I do too.
So I think that they could be a contender, but it's really going to be
all right.
A contender for the top four spot.
Well, I think they could be. I could see them sneaking in like 6.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The brewery in FC Dallas, the Dallas area. Deep Elysium Brewing Company. I was thinking of Elysian, but no.
Yeah.
4.5-star rating, 423 reviews. Again, it's all according to Yelp. You can visit them. Kind of a cool, very Dallas-esque page, and it's a deep. Oh, Blake, say that again.
Ellum, right?
Ellum,
I'm guessing it's ELLUM.
Right. I just keep wanting to say easy, and it's not it. DeepEllumBrewing.com. Pretty cool site. Some of their beers that they currently have. They have some year-round brews. Dallas Blonde, Deep Ellum IPA.
That's a good Dallas Blonde. That's a great name.
Local Legend Sweet Stout. So a sweet milk stout. Dream Crusher Double Rye IPA. Easy Peasy IPA, seasonal IPA. Nito Bandito, Imperial Mexican Stagger Lager.
Hey,
doesn't that sound
Imperial,
cool?
so
Right.
Higher alcohol content.
Right.
Yeah.
Some seasonals, No Way Rose, Oak Cliff Coffee Ale, Hop Seeker, Deep Summer. It looks like they have some really good beers, some really cool can art as well, and bottle art. Again, DeepEllumBrewing.com. Ellum.
Did you say Alla Gonna So all day long?
Benny Fellhaber and El Horizonte. And I can say, all right.
He's
Borussia Mönchengladbach.
That's the one. Yeah.
Borussia Mönchengladbach.
Borussia Slap back. Fisty bun, slappy back.
I was just going to say that.
Fisty bun, slappy back, Inkelbert Humperdinck. Eddie Izzard, check him out. Let's see. Okay. We just ended
Portland Timbers.
Thank you. Number 5. I had scrolled down too far. So Portland Timbers ending at 5th with 54 points. Their notable ins and outs. Few defenders and midfielders in, but Valeri, Blanco, and Chara are still there. Liam Ridgewell out. Still leaves them with a pretty good squad.
Pretty decent lineup. Oh, yeah. Anytime you have Valeri in there in the MLS, very good. And then you have Chara back there to kind of allow him some freedom along with Blanco. I don't quite know who's playing up front for them, but I don't think if you think you kind of have a false nine, or I don't know if you really need somebody up front with those, with Valeri in there. I think you'll see them again in the playoffs. Playoffs.
Have to.
It's Portland, good atmosphere, good solid teams every year, and I think you're going to see similar. I think you could probably see them in that 5th range again.
But they had a good run in the playoffs.
They did. They had a very good run.
So
they went to the finals and kind of laid a little bit of egg there, but
still, from where they finished to the end, a good run in their playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think they're going to be a good team. I think they're going to punch above their weight a lot.
Oh man, their rival Seattle. That's going to be a
fun derby.
Yeah. Oh man, that's going to be a good one.
Cascadia Cup, so what do they call it? The brewery in Portland, and Matt, you have to let us know how you feel about this one.
I think I've had this before.
Dude, they're pretty popular. They have 4-star, 2,777 reviews. Deschutes Brewery, Portland Public House. Really slick slide. I'm pretty sure I've had some of these as well. Deschutes Brewery.com. Some of their beers that they have year round include fresh squeezed IPA, the Shopst Inversion IPA.
I'm really annoyed if there's not one called He Deschutes, He Scores.
He Deschutes, He Scores. Mirror Pond Pale Ale, Pacific Wonderland.
That should be their Portland Timbers one.
Right. And then some seasonal beers as well, Twilight Summer Ale, and some ones they just tapped, a Passion Fruit IPA, a Baltic Porter. I have a whole bunch of stuff on tap, a really clean, slick site. It is, you can do brewery tours and have a little bit there on the Conservation Alliance that they're a part of. But if you get a chance, head over to DeschutesBrewing.com.
It's you. I just did Portland.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Why are you pointing at me for?
Oh, yeah, you did.
My bad. My bad. Real Salt Lake. In sixth finish on 49 points. They're the last team in this conference to make the playoffs. Their ins and outs. Sam Johnson, striker, and 5 homegrown players come in. One of, I think, the team in the MLS to bring up the most homegrown players this season is Real Salt Lake. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's right. Sonny and Dania Acosta out. Acosta gets loaned to Orlando and turns up big for us. This team, This team is going to be, I don't know. I feel like this team is on the razor edge. They could go one way and really crank it out, or they could go the other way and be less than stellar the entire season. And it's really going to come down to how well they can. Their manager gives them tactics, because by and large their team is not that speedy. So they're going to have to be really tactical, really smart, and play a really in-your-face style defense if they want to compete with the likes of the Portland Timbers and LAFC and Seattle. And it's going to be a tricky season for Real Salt Lake, I feel like.
Pardon me. Oh my God, this cough made me nuts. No. Oh God, I thought I was gonna have another one just right into the mic right there. Like, just drink more beer. Oh, good. I know it's actually making me drink the beer faster. Keep trying to what the whistle.
What the
the whistle?
Oh, the whistle. No, I'm with you. They do kind of feel like they're on that little edge. They could slide either way, but it does feel like it's not sixth place. It's either a little better or a little worse.
Yeah, I'm thinking a little bit worse.
I'm thinking a little better or a lot worse.
Yeah.
Because I think if they just hit that tailspin, and you have teams like Portland, like I said, Real Salt
Galaxy.
Lake, you have the Galaxy,
Colorado this year. Yeah.
So this is going to be a tough one for them.
Yes, indeedy. Okay, Salt Lake City, Epic Brewing Company, 4.5-star rating, 273 reviews.
Well, it also sounds familiar to me.
Maybe. Epicbrewing.com, pretty cool wood background type site. Handcrafted ales and lagers. I have to verify my age, so yes, I am 21 years old to enter and to see your epic beers. Give me a second here.
1001, 1002.
Oh no, it's a flash site. It's going to take hours. It's a MySpace page.
Oh,
okay, good. God Almighty in heaven!
See, it's a MySpace page.
So they have a classic series and elevated series, and some of the things that they have on the classic series: a Intermountain Wheat beer, Spiritual Jetty, Pfeifferhorn Lager, Cross Fever Amber Ale. I had to look at it.
I said Cross Fever, and then had to zoom in.
What in the hell is that?
I thought it was going to be a confusing word, and the word was Amber.
I just couldn't see it. It was so small, and I couldn't zoom in.
That's what she said.
Oh, hey-o. Epic's Elevated Series, 825 state stout, brainless Belgium style golden ale, copper cone,
like the name,
and Jubilant. Hopulent.
My favorite first beer I ever had from Utah, 2002. So we're talking early in the craft beer kind of thing. Someone came back from Utah and brought me a Polygamy Porter.
Oh, right.
Oh, there you go.
Was it good? I don't know. I was 22 and I didn't know much about beer, but it got the job done.
Yep. You have David Cole and Peter Eckerson are founders and co-owners of Epic Brewing Company. Started from California, started international aquaculture company in Utah in 1992. In 2008, some laws changed here and there, and they became beer geeks and foodies, and Epic Adventure junkies, and kind of just rolled on from there. So epicbrewing.com.
This moves us over to the other LA team, Los Angeles Galaxy, who finished in 7th on 48 points, just barely missing the playoffs last year. Ins and outs, Guillermo Del Toro. No, wait, but that's wrong. Guillermo Barros Shalato, Boca Juniors, and his head coach. And
Guillermo Scalato.
In his head coach, and Zlatan re-signed to a big deal.
Yeah, that was big news in the offseason. A lot of people thought he was going to go.
Ashley Cole,
Gone.
out.
Goes to Fulham.
He's 74 years old.
Dude's still playing, man.
He took
No, he didn't go to Fulham. He went to Derby County.
You put Fulham on here.
Did I put Fulham on there?
You sure did.
I was incorrect.
He's
I was
playing
thinking
with Lampard.
of the other black and white team that plays in the championship. See what I did there with Fulham that plays in the championship. Anyways. There it is. Derby County he plays for.
And Kiani out.
Either way, Ashley Cole packed his designer walkers and he gone.
Yes, he is gone.
He could be back.
LA Galaxy, Zlatan.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I still got that going for me.
Yeah, they do have a very young kid that came in that they signed, 16 years old. I cannot remember his name offhand, but he is supposed to be a very good starlet.
Yes, they said
who's
starlet.
Yes, they did.
He totally did. We looked it up.
I called it out.
texted
Who was it? It was one of my favorite commentators.
Called him a starlet, and I was like, "What? No, idiot! That's the complete wrong."
He said it though, and I was like, "Oh my god!
up-
If I'm an idiot compared to this awesome announcer, I'm trying to find the text
Because we
that
discovered
had
it's
on it.
basically like star to star that was like actor to actress. That's what
Derek
we
Ray. I
Correct.
love Derek
Yeah.
Ray, who was actually new to, was it Fox or ESPN this game was on? He signed from ESPN. So he was not with ESPN, but signed with them via maybe NBC Sports, actually.
Maybe Derek Ray got it wrong.
No, I love Derek Ray. He is a great Scottish commentator. He said the same thing, and I immediately hopped on it. And Ron was like, yes, I heard that. He's still wrong anyways. And I was like, I don't care. I don't care.
Maybe it's old English.
But Guillermo Scalato from Boca Juniors is a big signing for them. I think he's back in the MLS. I think he was once in the MLS. I could be wrong. And then you got Zlatan. Anytime he's in the game and he's up front, he's just a man amongst boys, and he gives you a shot to win. So I think they actually make the playoffs this year.
I agree with you under one condition. Boateng actually shows up this season.
And plays on a regular basis. Yes.
Yeah.
He's a speedy little person.
He can be very creative. He can deliver. His crosses are great. As long as he shows up to play, I agree they'll be in the playoffs.
They need Real Salt Lake to make the dip Ron was talking about, because those other teams we've talked about, I could easily see being in that top 5. Again, you know, so
Yes,
I mean, you're not wrong. This is
Agreed.
going to be a really difficult conference.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think more so than the Eastern.
I really dig the brewery name.
Yeah, I do too.
It's evocative. I don't know. It tells me a story. I want to know what the story
And their
is.
site is evocative. It's behind this dark, like black and gray brick, and it's like black background with white letters.
And this brewery's in Carson, California, where the stadium is.
Carson, California, correct. Phantom Carriage Brewery, 4.5-star rating, 524 reviews.
That sounds like a great
on Yelp.
It's a fun name.
Western name.
To read a little bit about them, they don't really have like a whole whatever, but they do have a bunch of articles from just the LA Times and LA Weekly, and basically reviews on the brewery, and fairly new established brewery. Their live tap list and full bottle list. They have currently 20 on draft, I guess. Phantom Carriage Black Sin Imperial Stout, Blood Orange Broadacres, Phantom Carriage Body Snatcher, a wee heavy.
Oh, fun.
Oh, I like that name.
A wee heavy.
Wee
Nice.
heavy. Castle of Grayscale, a Nitro Coffee
Yes.
Stout. Dead Snow, a rye IPA. Killer Kosh from Outer Space.
IPA.
There you go.
Killer what?
Killer Kosh from Outer Space.
Oh, funny.
Kolsch. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Why
hasn't anyone capitalized on that name before?
Phantom Carriage Brewery, Killer Kolsch from Outer Space.
That's brilliant.
I need that to be on this
They
show.
have some. So hold on, I'm going to keep going down these. These are great. Phantom Carriage Lecter. Phantom Carriage London After Midnight. Phantom Carriage Louisville Strangler. Kentucky
names are
Kentucky Common. Paradise Lost. Plague Bringer. Double IPA. Growler fills are available for that one, in case you care. Shockwaves. Rare Export. The Destructor.
I like Kentucky.
Pale King.
What you call it?
Willie B. Dillions.
I need that one too.
Twist of Cain, Saison. So yeah, very interesting names, but kind of this very like I don't know what the term that you used for it, but it has a
It's just that it's kind of got an old Englishy like ish vibe on the
like a what was the killer in London? What was
like a
it?
Jack the Ripper kind
Yeah,
of
Jack the Ripper, like that Victorian era.
Right.
Was that called a Kentucky Common? That's like something in a Western.
Yeah,
or like an
that's what it
old
was called, yeah.
like a prohibition movie, but in a speakeasy. I'll take a Kentucky Common.
Yeah.
I like the way that is.
Then that was phantomcarriage.com.
You're next, Ron. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just looking up a Kentucky Common.
See what exactly that was.
Yeah, because I haven't.
Bourbon barrel aged stout or some kind of bourbon barrel aged, be my guess.
I just X'd out of it.
As a beer style, Kentucky Common was a bright but short burning star. It is one of the 3 or 4 modern beer styles that American can claim is indigenous.
Oh, this would be pre-prohibition where we had some cool stuff that was happening before.
Mm-hmm.
Also called a common or a dark cream ale. Was once
that's
extremely
what
popular regional style around
common
Louisville,
had.
Kentucky. Rooted influx of German and Irish immigrants. It's more like, it's basically a dark version of an American cream ale.
I want it. And
Me
the killer
too.
Kolsch from outer space.
But specifically for Louisville because the water is more alkaline. So that makes it...
It's a good battery.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's going to be cool. All right. So Vancouver Whitecaps finishing on 47 points. Mark DeSantos from LA, the LAFC assistant coach last year, is in as head coach this year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty big. Freddie Montero back in the MLS.
Mm-hmm.
Good to see Freddie.
Formerly at Seattle.
Yep. Alfonso Davies, who I got to get a picture with.
Yes, you did.
Over the summer.
Very cool.
Is at Bayern Munich, and Kai Kamara out
To Colorado, I believe.
to Colorado. Vancouver loses in the shootout against Minnesota this past week, 3-2. Man, this is another, I hate to keep saying this, but this is another team that could be stellar or terrible.
I'm leaning more towards the terrible, unfortunately.
I don't know. I think they have a bunch of creativity and they have great midfield play. I think if their defense shows up to play,
I think that's the big question.
that's going to be, that's going to make them a harder nut to
The
crack.
Loons are scoring on you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
but
haven't. That means who knows?
yeah, but the Loons are doing much better this year than they've ever done.
Well,
They should be moving into the new stadium this year.
because
aren't
right now they're undefeated after one game.
Correct.
That is why they're doing better.
exactly yes. And they currently right now have a +1 goal difference, which is way better than they had all last year.
100% better. Yeah.
We'll get to them in a minute.
Yep.
But Vancouver is not usually a pushover team. I don't think they're going to be this year. It just really comes to how well their midfield can help protect the defense.
Cool. The brewery, according to Yelp in Vancouver, 4.5-star rating, 157 reviews. Brassneck Brewery, and it's brassneck.ca. Again, they're in Canada. Again, pretty slick site here. They have some beers that are currently on tap in their tasting room. A Peel Sessions, a 5 o'clock Shadow, it's oatmeal stout. Bjorn again. A dry hopped farmhouse ale fermented with Norwegian Helvik yeast.
Bjorn again. That's awesome.
Yep.
Love it.
Old Money, Magic Beans, a coffee beer
Old
with
Money.
Kenyan.
Great names.
Yep. Stockholm Syndrome, it's a farmhouse saison. Mr. Personality, an amber ale. So their first kind of about me. Well, guys, we just make beer. That's it. That's their opening line to
That's
the About
awesome.
Me. So pretty cool
Short
there.
and sweet.
It's a public space at Brass Neck. The Growler Shop and Tasting Room are designed to have you, our customers, feel as though you are part of the process. The brew house and cellar wrap around tasting room and Growler Shop, putting you in the very heart of the brewery. So again, brassneck.ca, and a pretty cool site. It looks like a very cool joint up there in Canada.
I love this. Makes me just want to do a whole like vacation based around breweries. All right. So again,
The MLS beer crawl.
pardon me for the croakiness.
Beautiful
Jeez.
beer crawl.
Yeah, there
Beautiful
you go.
beer crawl. Guys, that's our coffee table book we need to write.
Right?
Boom, boom, boom. Moving over. Number 9. Houston Dynamo finished on 38 points. A bit of a separation more so as we go from 8th to 9th. Ins and outs, breakout Albert Ellis and Mauro Montasa. Mauro Monatas stay with Maynard Figueroa added. Arturo Alvarez and Eric Alexander out. Yes. Yeah.
What does that mean?
That means
they're a team.
they're
in the
going to
MLS.
be where they probably are. Not the last, but this ninth spot.
I don't know.
seems-
I think they're looking good for the bottom 3.
Okay, to be honest, I think they have more of a shot than the Whitecaps do.
Yeah, I don't.
Maybe
think so.
even Real Salt Lake. I'll give them 2 teams.
Yeah, I think they're a team, and this spot looks like a spot that they could end up getting used to. Yeah. Yeah.
I bet they finished on 38 points. I bet they
guys,
finished on 39 points.
They're gonna be best of the bottom.
good, man.
There you go.
And you
First
know
team
what?
to miss
They
the
are
playoffs.
going to, or they could just fly under the radar.
I was gonna say the brewery is a perfect name.
Yep.
Under the radar.
Under the
Brewery.
radar brewery, 4.5 stars, 91
Brilliant.
reviews according to Yelp. You can find them at undertheradarbrewery.com.
Every Houston fan.
Yeah, we did.
Right. These jokes don't write themselves.
And this is how it starts. Under the Radar started off in Ned's garage about 8 years ago. We started with a good old $100 beer kit from a local homebrew shop and started making beer in the kitchen. We immediately fell in love with the process and quickly added and built more equipment right away. Then goes on to more of their about and history. Looks like a cool place just to enjoy a beer in all honesty. The Under the Radar logo is a circle with this like kind of gold sun-ish, but then a radar in the center of the circle pointing upwards. So some of the brews they got, the usuals, Radar Love, Dirty Blonde, Midtown Bach, Mid-Frequency IPA, Porter Authority, seasonal special brews, Raspberry Love, Slam Dunkel. So yeah, looks like a
want
pretty cool
more
place to have a beer.
Radar puns for my beers.
I know, right?
All right.
Right.
A couple, but
Undertheradarbrewery.com. Looks like they have a cool outdoor space with some good food options, and yeah, looks like a very fun place to have a beer.
Nice.
nice. Cool. Oh, sorry, I've been watching a lot of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Funny.
That's yours.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so Minnesota United FC finish on 36 points in 10th place.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Mumfuck. Whenever I see it.
So every time I see their abbreviation MNUFC, I always go to Man United.
Yeah, it's
Every single time.
Yeah.
The Loons. So the Loons have some interesting things in and out.
Yeah.
They have Osvaldo Alonso from Seattle.
Very good signing. For them.
Ike Opara from
Another
Sporting
good signing.
KC. Great signing for them. And then the former Arsenal keeper Vito Manoni on loan from Reading.
Yeah,
That's
pretty good signings for them.
That's going to be the backbone. It's really what's going
Manone?
to happen. And then you have Ibsen and Jerome Thyssen. They gone. Their new field, Lions Field, is set to open in April.
Allianz.
Thank you. And
Ajax.
it is a
American for
$250
dish soap.
$250 million stadium, 19,400 seats in that stadium. Made for Minnesotans by Minnesotans is what the current tagline is. And some of the pictures online are pretty slick. It looks like they've got it pretty well lit. I think night games there are going to be a ton of fun. But
Indoors? You said that already? Sorry.
no, it's open.
We're gonna have another snow games probably.
It's entirely possible.
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota, I don't really think anybody really expects them to be absolutely stellar, although I do think they will finish better than they did last year.
Yes.
They got to start. They got to have a better first third of the season, or Coach Heath is not going to stay there.
Similar to what we have to do, ish. But I do think you could see a surprise push for the 6th spot from them. They may end in 7th or 8th, but I think they'll go all the way down.
If
and
Minnesota
possibly get another
United
6th
gets
spot.
into the playoffs before Orlando City does, this city will melt down.
Yeah, right.
Well, we are in Florida in the summer, so it's possible it could melt down.
It's true, melting anyway.
I do like the name of this brewery in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Yeah.
Dangerous Man Brewing Company.
Seems like a place James Bond would go.
Oh my God, yes. 4.5-star rating, 310 reviews. DangerousManBrewing.com have the cool, their logos, kind of that old style, with the big bearded guy as their logo. Yeah, he doesn't have any eyes, but he has bushy eyebrows, full thing of hair, nice big thick beard.
Like an old 20s dude.
Yeah. There you go. Have a look there.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
So on tap currently, they do have a tap room located 1300 2nd Street Northeast. Imagine in Minneapolis. They have a Baltic Porter, an almond latte. I just locked my computer somehow, so I'm going to stall for the time being until I can unlock it. Remember
You
what my
managed that.
password
Keep
is.
talking because my app kept
I
crashing.
have no clue
with the notes, and I just get it reloaded.
Belgian Golden Strong, Ron's favorite, a boysenberry sour.
Oh,
Doesn't that sound?
I want to
lovely?
try that.
7.1%.
I don't.
That's smooth and fruity.
Well,
That's
come on, that last sour we had was pretty good.
Yeah, it
In
was.
opposite land.
In opposite land. We have a cream ale, a dangerous light, Godiva grapefruit sour, another 6.9%.
That sounds good,
A
actually.
whole bunch of brews on tap. Looks like a pretty cool place. They are a small place, but looks like a good place to enjoy a beer and get yourself a growler. DangerousManBrewing.com.
Nice.
I like it. Moving on over to 11th place, we had the Colorado Rapids finishing on 31 points. Ins and outs of notes, actually a lot of moving around. Kai Kamara, out to Cincinnati. Keegan Rosenberry, the Philly.
Good signing for them.
Yeah. Or from Philly, I should say. Yeah. Diego Rubio, Sporting KC.
Another good signing for them, I think.
Benny Fellheiber, said better that time.
Very good signing for them.
Good job.
Both him and Kamara got goals this past week.
Yes, they did. Giles Barnes and Marlon Hairston out. Giles Barnes, he came into Orlando. We thought he would do something.
Not good.
Not so
No, not a thing. Tim Howard announced that he was going to be retiring at the end of the season. So this is
Big
it for
news,
old
yeah.
Timmy Howard.
Yep.
He is going to become a commentator. He's pretty good at it. to be
Oh,
honest.
yeah.
I agree with
Remember
that.
a few years back, he was doing the games with Arlo
Yeah.
White? I think that was very
Yeah,
good.
joined in right after he left Everton and came.
Yeah.
That'll be a big celebration when that dude retires.
And I think you could see Colorado do quite well this year. I think they will make the playoffs this year.
Ooh, wow. All right. That's a big call. All right.
It's parity in the MLS, man.
All right. Love this brewery's name. Sounds like something wrong would have opened.
Brewability Lab, 5-star rating, 36 reviews.
Not many reviews, so I guess
No.
kind of new. And Colorado got a
yeah.
lot of breweries. I'm going to tell you what, even at 36 reviews, you scoring a 5-star, that's probably pretty good.
Yeah, and they have a nice little what are those things?
It's a beaker.
Beaker.
Yeah,
And they have the lab portion is elements from the periodic table.
I'm pretty sure those
Correct.
colors are Denver Bronco colors. It looked like was it purple,
Ish.
blue,
Yes,
and orange.
Black
yeah.
and orange.
Is it black and orange? Blue and orange.
No, black and orange. Kind of like a cool site. They have an automated background of a of a beer being poured and then kind of filling up as their background, and then these kind of 8 panels with various pictures and colorful things on it. A little bit about us. It's brewabilitylab.com. Was founded by a special needs teacher. She saw a need for jobs and training for adults with disabilities, and as we are here at the lab, refer to them abilities.
Well,
That's
that
awesome.
is now the coolest
Awesome,
brewery
yeah.
you mentioned. That's friggin' awesome.
And it says, at 21 years old, most adults with special needs are not given the opportunity to excel. Our goal is to provide this opportunity through a brewery. We provide job training for an ever-emerging industry in the Colorado market. The skills and training our employees learn from our business will translate into further job opportunities in the great industry of beer. Cheers.
Awesome.
That's friggin' wicked.
That's great.
Really cool, isn't it?
Go to Colorado. That's going to be top of my list.
Absolutely. Some of the beers that they currently have. Stand by. Oh, they have another chart full of beers here with a beaker-looking thing. Raspberry Sour. You're welcome, Ron. Strawberry Blonde, Pale Ale, Hefeweizen, Coffee Porter. So luckily we have some good beers on tap as well.
I got to correct something I said, but
What
it's
did you
your
say?
fault.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I said ins and outs. Kai Kamara from Cincinnati.
I was looking up that because
Columbus.
No. He was traded. The reason I put that, he was traded to Cincinnati, I think right before the Super Draft. And then Cincinnati traded him to Colorado.
I learned something.
Yeah. So I do make a lot of mistakes on my content. That was not one of them.
All right, there we go.
Brewabilitylab.com for a good cause, and look, they have some good beers as well.
Okay, I want to get
That's
one of those
awesome.
beers.
I
in
wanna
the
go
pod.
there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
send us beers.
Sorry, that's you.
No worries. So that brings us down to the bottom finisher of last
Ooh,
year.
and it was a bottom.
Bottom feeding. San Jose on 21 points.
Wando.
Womp, womp, womp. Some notable ins and outs. Christian Espinoza comes in on loan from Villarreal, and Judson comes in from loan on Tomens from
Tombins?
I don't think you pronounce the B, but I don't know that.
Be there.
And then this is
Tomens.
the best name, Jefferson Quintana. That's a great name.
That is a good name.
Quintana is definitely the name of a female transformer, I feel like. Right,
Perfect.
Quintana.
Yep.
She's got like a cool katana. Yes, this exists. Transforms into like a Japanese bike. There we go.
Nice. And then Yamir Haika is also out.
God bless you.
Bless you. So they
I like that the notable outs were like, we don't even know who that is.
They
That
lose.
tells you something, right?
They lose to Montreal, to a really good Montreal side. However, they basically own the stats against Montreal, which means they possess the ball well, they passed it around well, they just got spanked on the counter a lot. I don't really see them getting all that much higher in the table.
Yeah.
I think they could go up or down a couple of places. But I don't. Sorry, San Jose fans. There's just not a lot going on for you guys at the moment.
Unfortunately not. I would like to see Chris Wondolowski continue his goal scoring streak and continue to break MLS records.
I agree.
I just
I
don't
would
think
love
he's
to
going to do
see-
it on this team.
I would love to see Wondolowski.
He's not leaving teams. Like he's
I know,
rated
to another team.
lifer.
That's what I know. It's
to
I know,
Orlando.
but-
I'd love to see him here with us. I think he'd be a great fit for Orlando City, but yeah.
Unfortunately, San Jose is going to have another season in the basement. I mean, maybe they're going to get up a place, maybe two, but they're certainly not going to beat, teams like Sporting KC, Seattle,
Agreed.
LAFC, LA Galaxy. It's just Portland Timbers. I mean, the West is so stacked. I can't see them crawling much further.
Yeah. The last beer we are going to cover, again, all of these were courtesy of a top 10 list from Yelp.com, and it's in San Jose. Hermitage Brewing, 4.5-star rating, 221 reviews. You can find them over at hermitagebrewing.com. About the brewery, they have a little bit of a story there. We think our beers as a retreat from the ordinary. We are not a mainstream brewery. We do not copy. We create. Brewmaster Peter and Cellar Master Greg are obsessive about our quality and passionate focus on brewing beers that are flavorful, rich in character, aroma-driven in New York. Kind of like a beer barrel background of their site. So it looks like they are have a very strong sense of making just good quality tasting beers. Some of the beers that they currently have on tap are there. Fly Into the Mystery. Looks like it's a IPA. Man, like zoom in on some of these. They have a Spice Apple American Sour, Custom Crush Pinot Grigio.
Sorry, can you say that again?
Pinot Grigio, like the wine, but it's a beer?
So it's a grape-infused sour. Son of a monkeys, I clicked on something. Sour ale aged in American oak barrels. Gotta get back to whatever the hell I just clicked on. They also have Solari Golden Ale, Cranberry Peach, it's American Sour. Look, they have a lot of sours going at the current moment, so Ron would love this place.
Piss off.
3-ton barrel-aged Imperial Stout. So
Ooh.
pretty cool site, and looks like they really care about the quality and taste of the beers. Again, hermitagebrewing.com.
Sweet. So that wraps up our look at the West. So the thing we have to do is give our quick little predictions.
That we do.
All right, Ferris, you generally the note taker for these.
I already have my notes all set
like
for it.
to lead this questionnaire?
Would I like to lead this questionnaire? Why not, Blake? Okay, so we're going to cover pretty much what we covered the past few seasons, but we're going to add two things into it. So we're going to name winner of the East, what we think it is, the winner of the West, what we think it is, who's going to win the Shield, because before we just name them, and one of those teams has to win the Shield, so let's figure out who it is. MVP, biggest team to miss the playoffs, and who wins the MLS Cup is a new one. So, Mr. Blake, who wins the East, who wins the West, and who is the Shield winner for you?
East is going to be the Red Bulls. I think we'll do that again.
Okay, all right. Safe pick. From the West?
It's going to be Seattle.
Seattle. That's a good pick there. I like that. Who do you think's going to win the Shield?
I think Seattle will get the Shield. I think Red Bulls won't get that this year.
Okay. Mr. Ron?
In the Eastern Conference, DC United.
Ooh.
Yep. And in the West, I just have to go for Seattle.
Yeah. That's a pretty good pick.
And I say DC United takes the Shield.
DC United takes the Shield.
I'm going underdogs.
All right, yeah, you are. Okay. I will go. Man, I haven't put a great deal of thought into this. I do think both of those are good picks, and oddly enough, I do think if Wayne Rooney can stay healthy, DC United can win the East. And then going over to the West, I'm really tempted to go quite bold on this.
Oh,
but I don't quite think that I will. Instead, I will go with
what does that mean?
Because
I'm going to go bold, but never mind. I'm not.
I don't know. I feel like Colorado is really going to have a good year, but to say they're going to go from 11th to 1st, I don't know. Oof. I think Bob Bradley's a smart guy, and I think he figures out LAFC and with what they have, and I think LAFC could win the West. Unfortunately, I think that much like it was last year, the West is so hard to become Shield winners because you're not really going to see anybody pull away in that. Yep. That I do agree with Ron. I think DC United could be the Shield winner this year. MVP, go opposite, which means I'll go first.
Okay.
I think...
Well, I'm torn here.
You will see Luciana Acosta from DC United be your MVP this year.
I was so torn about that.
I think the partnership with Wayne Rooney and how he plays and his if he stays for the entire year, I think he will kind of be the one to propel them up into the East and make them the Shield winners.
I'm going with Jordan Morris.
I like it.
Jordan Morris comes back after injury and just has something to prove and completely annihilates the West.
Cool. I like the pick, Ron.
Not picking them to be top. Obviously, I picked Red Bulls, but I think it's always very hard to repeat in the MLS. I don't know if they can do it, but I think Martinez could walk away as MVP.
Hold on. Which one? Because remember, they have Pity Martinez as well this year.
Martinez.
Joseph.
Yeah.
Joseph.
I think
that's a big shout to go back to back like that.
Yeah, because I think there's a little. I know Almiron's not there, but I think there's a. He strikes me as the guy that's like, oh, you don't think I can do it again? And could do it again.
Okay.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right.
He's definitely a fighter.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Absolutely.
It's almost like if there's another challenge.
Yeah. He's very Goonies never say die.
Yes. Yeah. And that attitude makes you think he could fight for that.
But in like, yeah.
Now say if old man stays healthy.
Zlatan?
My backup was Wayne Rooney, to be honest.
okay.
If he could stay healthy for the whole run, and
That's where I think Acosta
I would call
more.
him an MVP for if you just took the portion in which he was in the MLS last year.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Was
he's
amazing.
certainly
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
MVP for his team.
Right.
Right.
But what do you manage to accomplish for
The
that
amount
team?
of hustle, like remember he chased that guy down in the Orlando game, sent a gigantic
Good slide
40-yard
tackle,
ball
yeah.
back
He
to
could
the opposite.
manage to do that for a season.
Man,
That's my honorable mention.
agreed.
Ron, biggest team to miss the playoffs.
NYCFC.
Yeah, you think so?
Ooh, that's
With the loss of
that's reasonable.
God,
I
I'm
think.
blanking his name.
David Villa.
thank you.
you
With
go.
the loss, with that loss, he was the glue holding them together.
Good shout.
Yeah, that's a good one. Gosh,
Blake?
I not only is it a good one, it might be the best one
Okay.
in terms of like.
I think we talked about it. Could be their first time in their history because they've only been around for 3 years to miss the playoffs. So it's not a bad pick.
Gosh, that's I think the best team, but I don't want to pick something different. That is what I was thinking
then
as well.
pick
But I
'em.
was,
So
No, no, no,
we
no,
can
no,
pick
no,
I
it.
think
no.
DC United along was wrong.
because once we start getting in this spot, like the guys that screw up.
Whatever.
Let me go big or go home.
Don't say my pick.
Okay.
Portland Timbers.
Okay. I think somebody said Portland last year. It might have been. I have to look
And
at
they had
that.
to fight for it in the end to get to squeeze in.
Let me see. Let me see who said Portland
I
last
feel like
year.
that was you, wasn't it?
I feel like it was me as well. Now that you say it, I do feel. And they went all the way to the damn finals. And but when we got to the playoffs and we did our playoff brackets, I'm the only one that had them going that far. No, Blake, last year I had Seattle Sounders missing the playoffs.
I thought
you
I
had
picked
Portland
Seattle. That's
Timbers,
funny.
right?
I thought I had
Ron 2 years running picked NYCFC according to last year.
I was close last year.
Right, and then Blake with the homer pick of the year last year, MVP Sasha Question. Wow,
That's a wing and a prayer.
That is a wing and a prayer. Nothing says parity in the MLS like the team that won the championship last year
Missing?
not making the playoffs this year. So I think Atlanta United is going to miss out on the playoffs.
Whoa, I don't think that's going to happen.
Hey, it's
Hey,
possible.
one can only hope. I do
I
think that
think
their
they're gonna
Champions
have-
League run will kind of deter them and pull them away from more games than they think. And I really do think Almiron is a big player that is going to be missed for them because I think Pitti offers what Almiron did. Almiron can open up space in the middle of the field. He can create. He can play those through balls. He can use his feet to get out of a tight situation. I don't know if they have that enough now. They're still a very good team. I just think they barely missed the playoff. We'll see. And finally, who wins the 2019 MLS Cup with a rejuvenated, brand new, refurbished, whatever you want to call it, playoffs that is going to last only a month?
Yeah, they squeezed it in all in.
Yeah.
Just about
Single elimination playoff.
Yep.
Thank
Love
God.
Love it.
Yep.
Who
Where
wants
the
to go
goals
first?
don't count. And oh God.
Right.
Who's up next for first?
I think it's back
me?
to you. Back to you.
They don't win the West. Sometimes it seems like the ones who win, they have a tough time going all the way.
Yeah.
In the MLS, they don't win the West. Sporting KC wins the league.
Good pick.
Nice.
Good pick. I like that.
Nice. Yeah. Atlanta won last year and they were in
They were second. Yeah.
So that stands up. Is it me?
Well, yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm going for a bit of a long shot. LAFC.
I don't think it's that big of a long shot. I think I could see them getting to the semifinals and finals easily. That's not.
LAFC.
Yeah. Good, cool.
Ooh, Nally.
Cool.
Who do I think is going to win the MLS championship? Man, I really don't know. There's a couple options that I've gone through
It's
in my
also
head.
a hard choice.
Yeah. Seattle, Portland are always up there. LAFC is a good shout. Sporting KC is a good shout.
Red Bulls.
The Red Bulls, yeah. I mean, can they overcome it after
they could
over
come
a
with a little
10-year
fire
drought?
after
Yeah.
last year being so good and
I think teams like the Impact and Colorado are going to have very good years. I don't know if they're going to be enough. I'm going to go with this could be a very, very
I know
magical
exactly what you're
year
going to say.
for DC United.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think as long as Rooney stays healthy,
His
I
second
think
pick
they
is LA
can-
Galaxy, by the way.
No, it was just Zlatan. Like, he wins the championship. Just
literally-
him.
My pick
Yep.
is Zlatan,
Zlatan.
wins the MLS Cup.
Yep. Just Zlatan. Fairly
Brilliant.
positive.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, I think, it may be a little bit of a.
I can see DC
original
United
teams.
do what Portland did, come in like a fifth place into the playoffs, but go all the way
Could
to
be,
a finals
yeah.
or something like that. Yeah.
Could be, but cool. They are notated, and we'll see how we did at the end of the year.
man.
So I have one quick bit of beer news before we wrap up, and
Hit me.
I'll keep it super fast. So in the beer news, just to let you know,
Ding, 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 ding.
I wish I had a ticker
Oh,
behind
the
me.
news that is the news about beer.
To let you know how much the beer market is changing in the U.S., Anheuser-Busch / InBev reports that the 2018 global revenue is only a growth of 4.8%. And that puts it at around $54.6 billion, despite major declines in the USA. Now, that doesn't sound that monumentous, but when you break it down, it actually is, because in the U.S., Anheuser-Busch reported that revenue declined 0.7% in 2018.
This is just specifically them, not beer overall.
Correct, for
Okay.
Anheuser-Busch, right? But despite the fact that the revenue per hectoliter essentially grows 1.9%, the company's sales to retailers and wholesalers declines 2.6%. That's huge, considering you have failing lager brands like, Bud and Bud Light and all those kinds of things, where Anheuser-Busch is actually, and InBev are actually making a profit, are on all their craft beers
That they bought out, like Goose
that
Island.
they bought
and
out.
stuff
Goose
like
Island, a huge one is Blue Moon. So it's very interesting that the normal top three, if you will, are losing market share, and it's all being brought in by your craft beers.
Well, I mean, even just normal restaurants now, if there are not a few craft beer choices, and I mean like normal chain, like that was always like your only choice of a non-Bud or Miller was like Guinness. That would be the only thing that would be up there. It's very different now.
Right. Well, the premium brands, which they're calling the normal flagship lagers, are declining, and the craft beer is stepping up, and it is expected within the next 5 years to make over $43 trillion. Just craft beer across the board. That's a huge market hit.
Wow.
What's the trailer that our buddy shared with us about the beer documentary that's about to come out?
Oh, right.
We need to take a look at this at some point, but there's another document, which is great because 2005-06, we had that documentary we watched where it was like craft beer was less than 0.1% of the market share.
Right.
Great documentary still on how hard it is to break in. However, those numbers are all wrong now.
Correct.
But there is a new documentary about to come out.
Interesting.
Someone just, our buddy, Rick, that we work with.
Yes, he sent us.
Yeah, he sent one that looked like really interesting. And
I don't remember what it's called though.
Yeah, it's been getting a lot of good buzz. Pardon me, just pulling up here in a message he sent. Beers of Joy is the trailer.
Right.
Not sure who made it, what the told details are, but like you're following these people, they're trying all these different beers and stuff. It looks pretty interesting. It comes out this year, 2019. But Beers of Joy.
Oh, yeah, that'll be fun to see. But it's just incredible to go from, just think about our first podcast.
Even in that short time.
In that short of time, how much craft beer has gone up. The revenue growth for high-end craft beer companies is up 18.3%.
We're up to episode 115.
Correct.
We could have not done a single beer from anywhere but Florida and still be needing.
Oh my God,
doing
yeah.
more.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
Which you could not have said 5 years ago.
Right.
And
let it go.
And funny you say that. I just completed the Central Florida Ale Trail finally.
But you didn't really, right? Because they've added breweries.
So they started off with, like 18 different breweries in the area with another 9 or 10 of them up and coming. Well, those 9 or 10 are now open.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, I've actually been to half, whether that's been Castle Church,
Castle Church,
Hipsis Brewing, But I finally can finish it. And we have some fantastic breweries. But yeah, there's so many more that just popped up within the last 10 years. And now on that new map, the ones that have all of those new ones that were on my old one, if that makes sense, they have another list of breweries that are getting ready to open. Phil was just telling us he now lives out in Oviedo. They just opened one, Oviedo Brewing. Yeah. They're offering
Toll Road Breweries opened
Brewing,
up.
Yep.
Even just
Orange
around
City
us.
Orange City Brewers in the downtown area.
We probably could have done 115 episodes with just Central Florida beers.
Hell yeah. So it's great to hear. And the reason we did this for the MLS to kind of share these breweries, we wanted to bring light to those local breweries, those local establishments in those towns. Because yes, you can get a Bud Light or a Miller Lite wherever. And we don't ever rag on those beers because sometimes when you're out somewhere and you're watching a game or something, maybe that's what you want. But when you're in these stadiums or you go into these towns to see games or you want to go to your nearest city to see Zlatan there or whatever, try to search one of these local establishments and brewing. Get a vibe for how the city is, because each brewery has a little bit of vibe of the city that they're in. Whether that's the Orlando city, the Oviedo area, the Winter Park area, they all have that. And they are starting to really hit the pockets of those big InBevs and Miller Coors, whatever they're called, because people are wanting to support more local and try different things that they haven't always had the opportunity to have.
Hashtag drink local.
Heck yeah.
Absolutely.
Last bit of stats, and this is the mind-blowing part, and then I'll be done. In 2018, Budweiser, the actual beer, Budweiser, lost 35 points of market share.
Dang.
Bud Light lost 85 points in market share. That is huge. So for all you craft beer people, keep drinking.
Oh, man. And keep hanging out with us.
Good stuff.
And the way you can do that, you can do it digitally if you're not hanging out down in Florida. Go to the website, www.thebrewtifulgame.com. Follow us on Twitter at Brewtiful Game. Find us on Facebook, Untapped, so we see what you're drinking. You can see what we're drinking. Get introduced to some new brews. I always do this once I get after Untapped. Oh, if you want to leave a review or rating for us on either Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, however you listen to us,
Google Play. A lot of people hit us up on Instagram, too.
Instagram. But please leave a rating review, take a screen grab, send it to us. We will get you a koozie and maybe a magnet in the mail. And I think that wraps us up, gentlemen.
Pretty much.
All right.
One thing left to do.
Oh, yeah. Oh, but first, I was, this is a little off tangent, but I'm a nerd guy. The taking care of the little 15-month-year-old, and she kind of passed out of my arms, and I couldn't, trying to reach something entertainment. My phone was just out of reach, but I didn't want to wake her up. But at a bookshelf, with an old Star Wars book that I hadn't read in forever, I pulled that off the shelf and started flipping through it, and it reminded me of stuff that I did not know. If you're a Star Wars nerd, just like little tips or little interesting tidbits about the fictitious history of the Jedi. Did you know that the only way for the Jedi to open PDF files, they have to use Adobe One Kenobi?
Help me, Adobe. You're my only hope. So stupid.
This is not the file extension you're looking for.